Climb highs to kick things off once again this morning as we look towards yet another IPO coming to the NYSE today. It's been quite the exciting couple of months worth of IPOs. Crypto back in focus here again this morning as well. There's an IBIT. Now, among the 20 largest ETFs, period, end of story. Pretty good note for IBIT and crypto in general this morning. We'll touch on that. That's how the overall market's shaping up here. That's the Nasdaq anyway. Another little gap to the upside here after a huge reversal yesterday off that better than expected CPI number. Brings in a lot of questions as to what is going to happen, not only in September, but will they go twice before the end of the year? More rumblings this morning, meanwhile, on the Fed chair front. There's more and more names being added to this list, and more people who have the opinion of, hey, we need a lot more cuts in a hurry.
Yeah, and expect an infographic from Adara later on today on Trader TV Research, so make sure to check that out. Yeah, it's going to be really interesting, Brendo. I mean, I opened up my, I'm reviewing today Donald Trump's trying to sue the Fed for the overages on the build out there at the Fed. So there's lots to talk about today, guys. Cava in focus, missing expectations, really dropping here after that report. CoreWeave reported as well, Brendo, really did a lot better, but the stock dropped anyway. Good growth year over year. And then that's right, we got an IPO, and it's a crypto IPO. So we'll see if it was met, if it's going to be met with the same kind of vigor that we got for Circle and Webull as well, which was well met as well, Brendo.
I mean, they're just straight up calling it bullish. So
yeah, it's fantastic.
How could you go wrong, possibly? Ethereum closing in on 6K. Circle with an offering here as well. It's worth noting, just starting to roll over here. Had a downtick note there. Looks like 160, 161, I guess. A bit of a trouble point here for Circle back to the downside after the close last night, if you missed it. Offering coming through. That was a bit of a sell the news event for Circle right out of the gate yesterday. Continues to the downside off of their report. So we'll keep an eye on that here in the pre-market. But so much to touch on, guys. Yet another IPO. Will it be before 2 p.m. this time around is the question.
Yes, it will. Well, the last one was 155, so...
Yeah, that was like one of the latest ones.
Yeah. The odds are forever
we've ever had.
Yeah. I think in that particular case. But let's be real. If what happens on Figma and Circle and CoreWeave happens on Bullish today, then you won't care how long you waited for it to open, right? Like it'll be worth it. It's just a little frustrating, but it's called Bullish, so we'll try to be bullish on it. It actually, I was going to get to AMD, but it's already, it's went over $1 million. It was 800,000 to buy. It's 1 million to buy. This is at 8:30 in the morning when we're not expecting it to open till after 1 o'clock because that's what usually happens. So they up the price multiple times. That auction price is meaningless until you're not even remotely close until that auction price starts moving around from the actual issue price. So, everyone that's going to be asking us, hey, when does Bullish open up? Be patient. We got a lot of market to get to. And unfortunately, for all the earnings names, or most of the earnings names last night, it was to the downside. But AMD got some positive news. They're up today. And this with AMD being, with NVIDIA being flat, the market's looking strong once again. Bunch of things breaking towards some all-time highs. Alphabet with a chance after that fun little Perplexity story that I don't think too many people are taking too seriously with that unsolicited bid. But hey, Google's on the mind as well. Lots to get to before we'll all get in bullish.
I know this is, we'll be getting bullish for sure. I just wanted to, I was just looking at actually right here from Bespoke. This is the U.S. trends right here by sectors, right? And I mean, just look at the year to date on a lot of these. So there's the communication services sector, up 14%, extreme overbought. Oversold healthcare, we've talked about Eli Lilly, and there's some Novo news and things like that into healthcare technologies, but the healthcare sector in general with UNH, downside real estate, hopefully that gets bumped up a little bit. Just looking to see maybe where there might be some opportunities here. Biopharma is what we were talking about down there with healthcare as well. Consumer staples, 5%, 1%, 13.9% right there on utilities. It's the technology and industrials right now that are really leading the way, up 15 and 15.29. This is only the 8th month, and we're already up these massive numbers. So yeah, just in the last 5 days alone has been pretty good for many of these companies. And we're missing AMD, we're missing Walmart earnings. They're going to be coming. So 451 of the S&P 500 companies have reported. So, you're getting through it all, but you have Walmart still to come, you have Target still to come, and then of course you have Nvidia, what's left. So, we'll see what's going on with some of, and it's not this week, it's 2 weeks from now. We've got Nvidia, so we'll wait to see what they're doing. They got a price target upgrade today as well, looking to break through 184. That should be a trade there. That's 183.50, but higher 184, the all-time highs for Nvidia. So we'll watch out for that. And then of course we have CoreWeave, as Neil mentioned. They're not great. I was saying that all three big names that we were looking at yesterday, all three disappointed. Rigetti downside, Cava downside, CoreWeave downside. So yeah, not great, but yeah, we'll trade these names for all of you, and we'll talk all about them as well. Cava, another name that reported last night, of course, joined Darren and myself on the recap. We had Brian Shannon, was absolutely huge. So yeah, we had a great show, great talk about a bunch of different names on here as well. So, the name that Brian liked. This is why you got to join every Tuesday. You got to join us every night. But I always ask Brian right at the end of the segment, so 4:30 or so, I say, give me a play that you like. And he was talking about Dutch Bros. So, yeah, holding the 50-period moving average, strong off the 200, and, looking to think about breaking out. So shout out to Brian Shannon here, who described his Dutch Bros trade and why he liked it. And I was just like, Starbucks, pretty strong name. Not strong, but up to that $100 mark, and definitely battling off of their earnings call as well. So, and I was like, they're looking not similar, but you're still looking to break out from levels higher. So there's a few names in there. We'll talk. We haven't talked too much about the China story lately. I don't know. I think that helps for Starbucks as well. But yeah.
You know what's close?
Bullish?
$160 away from an all-time high in ETH. Approximately.
Right.
47,000 just hit.
4,700, of course.
4,700. 47,000 hits. Forget about 4,700 just hit. Looks like so. Yeah, just about 100. I don't know. I think 48.66 by most accounts is the high, or close enough to it. So your BMNRs of the world are still looking pretty bullish. It's going to be a crypto kind of themed day. In terms of earnings, like you said, it was a little bit of a disappointment. That being said, what's interesting about Circle is with their they dropped an offering and they were down too. But I guess because maybe it has to do with the crypto rally, they get at least a little bit of a bump. You're seeing CoreWeave hold its lows, but Circle, not too bad. It almost filled the entire gap back up with the run that we've seen in ETH. Obviously, the stablecoin play going to be good. There's going to be sympathy plays to bullish when they open up, but keep an eye on ETH. That one. It feels like all-time high today.
Yeah. How much you say away from it?
160. It's like, how could it not? Did we come all this way not to on the day of the bullish IPO? I mean,
that's a drop. That's right. I'm going to call the top in it then. Because I remember that's what happened with Coinbase.
It's as you say it. That's exactly what happened.
So right now the top is 37. I mean, I said that we were here for Figma, and we were looking at Figma IPO, and it was supposed to be 33 or something, and then it wound up going up to 111 or something on the tap or something like that, or 106 or
I think it was,
whatever it was. And then it IPO'd it came back down with 80. I was going to say in the 80s. So we'll see what winds up happening. I'll be sitting glued to this desk all day. So I brought the gym bag. I said to Neil, there's no way I'll be able to use it.
You get your snacks, make sure to
wait for Randy to
This time I'm going to eat my lunch. I didn't eat lunch. I sat there ready for it to open up and didn't even eat my lunch last time. I'm not making that mistake again. I'm going to eat my fruit salad too as we go back to the desk.
All right, a couple things. Market, speaking of all-time highs, market's at all-time highs right now. We just took out pre-market levels right now. Sharif and I were just discussing this. If you go back to yesterday, this sends Google stock. I mean, it was kind of volatile, but at the end of the day, we were up anyways with the overall market. $34.5 billion as a potential purchase of Chrome. And again, this goes back to the simple fact whether or not they will be forced, Google will be forced to divest this asset. But Perplexity is... I mean, it's going to be
very
tough.
bold.
I think it's going to be tough.
So a couple of important dates this month, Brendo, may shed some light on what's going to happen next. So the judge in the antitrust case, he's going to render a remedies decision at the end of this month. I think his name is Judge Amit Mehta, and he was the judge in the case. So he's going to give the verdict. Now, why does this all matter? Because, well, Google's just not going to stop here. This is a court of first instance, meaning it's like the first level court. They're going to push this thing as far as it'll go, which is the Supreme Court. That's probably a 3-4 year runway if you believe some of these analysts. So the question is, do you sell now when it's an unsolicited offer and you can sell at a higher price, right? Because you don't want to sell. Somebody's asking to buy what you have. Or do you wait until you're forced to sell and then you can't get the premium that you may be looking for? And I think $34.5 billion all cash offer backed by NVIDIA, SoftBank, and some unnamed funds, Brendo, are apparently putting up some of the money. The question is, though, is it even worth $34 billion? Because you got DuckDuckGo chiming in. They're like, no, this is at least worth $50 billion.
Yeah, it's probably more. But it's
going to be super interesting.
I mean, we'll see. And remember, this comes on the back of Perplexity coming out with their own browser.
Exactly.
I mean, I feel like it was 2 weeks ago or so. So, I mean, a wild day yesterday anyways, guys, for Google shares were set to open here basically right at the highs.
Look it up to remind.
that daily chart.
Oh, Comet, that's what it's called. Yeah, Comet.
I mean,
not that anyone knows.
Let's think about, like, why would a competitor of Chrome believe that Chrome is worth more?
Of course it's not worth 30. It's worth more and it's not going to happen, so it doesn't matter.
No, it's just like, it's just like, if yours is worth something and let's think it's worth 1.2x, so therefore mine would be worth, add that extra 20% on top of it as well. But Google's just been working. I mean, there's nothing else to say about it. Like, just as Brendan started that sort of segment with about how we're at all-time highs, I mean, this is not all-time highs for Google, though, I do not believe. I thought Google was in the 220s, or maybe this is. Yeah, no, this is right now 209. So here's a monthly chart on Google right now. He's got to go back a little bit. 207.50. 204, 205. I mean, it's whatever, distinction without a difference. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 months. This is a monthly chart, straight upside. Like, this is the thing. People are like, oh, Google's lost its way or something like that, like back into here, right? And I fell to that as well a little bit and got some out. But, at the end of the day, these best companies keep on winning. I was listening to something the other day, and it's like, we keep talking about the Mag 7, all right? But the thing about this whole Mag 7 business is, the Mag 7 is like 500, 300 different companies wrapped into these 7 companies. Like Microsoft owns Activision Blizzard. They own LinkedIn.
Yep.
Amazon owns Whole Foods, for crying out loud. MGM Studios. Google owns YouTube. We've got Waymo going on now. Like, all these different projects. Meta owns Instagram.
It's really Apple that is the...
Yeah, they're the ones that haven't gone out and bought. Yeah, they haven't gone out and bought these companies.
I mean,
but it's just like,
do we even count Tesla anymore?
So many things that we use have wrapped up or ties with these Mag 7 companies. So yeah, it's no surprise to me that Google continues to rip up. And then we already know the NVIDIA and AMD story. Like, you might as well start adding some of these names to there too, is because you're not going to be able to live without them.
But here's the thing.
Gmail.
Antitrust issues, lawsuits, breakup stories, potential sales. What ends up happening almost every single time is somebody gets a fine, you pay the fine, or you get some concessions, you change slightly the way that you do business. And so I don't think they're selling Chrome. I just think that this is, it's just it's an interesting story that probably maybe gets some attention for, what did I say, Comet. Right, so people will talk about Comet for a little bit, which is their browser potentially. I like Google here, and I think we had Mitch on, and I was like, when we were talking about the chart, he's like, he didn't necessarily love it. Maybe it was the overhead resistance, but this stock is breaking away in, like, what I love about it. Palantir did this and went ham, had an upward channel that it held for a long time, and it broke this channel and is now trending above it into the highs. I think it's actually even a breakout going in here today. 204.5 is the local top. I like that breakout today on Alphabet. That way you're in before it gets to 05. And I'm liking this even better. Like, I think a lot of times, like recently, if breakouts are going to go in this market, they've been going right away. So why wait for the even dollar? Because if you get in and the actual high in this case is, like, yesterday's high is 204.50, that way if it fails at 205, I'm in at 204.5, and a failed 205 break isn't necessarily a losing trade. You're just already in. You have some inventory going into it, to steal a line from Obi. But yeah, not really sure that's going to happen, that deal. But it doesn't really matter. Google's winning. And thank you for the super chat. This won't be the first time that we get questions about Bullish. Appreciate you here, Wells. IPO, any advice? All I can tell you is the trade that happens here, for the most part, 90 whatever % of the time when it's a big IPO, which has a lot of, let's say, it's oversubscribed, it's got a lot of hype to it, it's in the right sector, all of those things. Essentially just looking to take the opening print, make sure I cover myself underneath that right at the open and look for that first push. After that, it just goes into pure momentum trading, right? Like if this opens at $80, I don't necessarily think that that's a good value for Bullish. It just means that I'm willing to play the momentum for the first few minutes and hopefully longer than that. It has nothing to do with evaluation. As a matter of fact, when we saw CoreWeave and Circle and those go absolutely nuts, and Figma, skeptical of those moves after a while. But for the open, for the first day, just play the momentum is the way that we're going to look at it here.
All right, and what was we're going to talk about it, but the news on AMD is that NVIDIA had to, we got a super chat here, not a super chat, we want to say thank you to the Juice right here, the Juice not OJ, so the Juice is not loose. Gents, any news on AMD today about to break? Yeah, well, yeah, actually, we're right here right now. It's actually a good question. Up now 3% in the pre-market, looking to break through 180. It was NVIDIA.
I can read it here.
Yeah,
it's a Fubon research report that indicated that NVIDIA delayed Rubin to match AMD's MI450 spec. So that was, I don't know, Fubon. Again, that was just a piece of news that came this morning. And seeing as NVIDIA is doing nothing, as a matter of fact, slightly down, and AMD's to the upside, I would presume that's the only story that I saw that it would explain.
And the Nasdaq is ripping here. It just broke 180 right now. I just checked like the account, and it's just like, it's just booming. Like, this is such a bull market. We've been talking about what this Nasdaq's been doing for many, many weeks, months, years now, and it's just like, oh my gosh. Like everybody, not everybody, I mean, some people doubt, the buy and hold strategy, but when you're looking at something like the Nasdaq here, and we just go into the Qs, and we just go into like a monthly, or I don't know, it's like, it's not rocket science. This is just an insane, like, you want to talk about wealth creation. We've been looking at this market pretty much my whole life, and it's just like, it's just doing this, like, oh, thanks, COVID, just like boom, this is so great. Like that bottom of COVID is 260, man. It's 580 right now.
That's not even the COVID.
No, this is that's
the COVID bottom.
This is the COVID right here. This is 2020. Well, yeah, but I mean, this is just the hangover from inflation and all that kind of stuff, and the unwinding a little bit. But no, it's just like that's the move up there. And yeah, in here you're going to have housing crisis. I mean, we have 2008 is in here. The Nasdaq this is the Qs just being born. I mean, unfortunately, I can't go all the way back. If I talked about the SPY, you'd maybe get a little bit of a bigger look in here. And it's not cherry picking. I mean, SPY is the top 500 companies, so. It's just, there's 2008. There's the flush, initially that flush there on COVID, of course, as Neil was mentioning here, and here 2019, 2020, then the 2022 fall, and then it's just straight recovery. This is the 50-period moving average. We haven't been at the 200-period moving average in 13 years. So that's why we say, like, when good quality companies for some reason hit the 200-period moving average, it's kind of like a little bit of a buying opportunity there. This is monthly though.
Well, but I love a monthly chart though for
you're just so far away from it. I mean, we're talking longer distances. To look at a daily chart, of course, you'd have much more swing, but that's why I talk about the buy and the hold. It's great. I don't know what else to tell you. And plus, if you hold some companies that'll give you some dividends, it can be even better. But of course, you won't get the same kind of growth. But I mean, it's similar to Bitcoin. I sit here and think like I shouldn't even be sitting here right now because, we've been watching Bitcoin since $0, and now it's 120,000. Same thing with Ethereum. I remember sending 2, 3, 4 Ethereum over to some company I didn't even know about just to get, random NFTs and stuff like that, and now you see where that market is and where the actual coin market is. Most of these Solana, Cardano, Ripple, Ethereum, they're all up 30% in a week. Like this is for real.
You say years ago there's a charity that I give to. It's called GiveWell.
Yeah,
and,
this is 1 week.
I messaged them like, you guys should really look into accepting crypto, and they're like, oh, thank you for consideration. I went back and at the time, like I don't know, a couple months later,
yeah,
and like followed up. No, they didn't bother.
Yeah, I know.
And I almost. I was going to, if they'd have done it, I was going to actually donate. I've never done it before. I was going to donate in Bitcoin. Yeah. And now I'm like, I'm kind of glad I didn't. They lost.
I mean, I told the story. I asked for my pay in Bitcoin over 10 years ago and was refused. So, yeah. All right. There it goes, man. Breaking through 180 is AMD. And we just, AMD just went for a little bit of a dip there. But, all right, we are waiting for the imbalances to come out. Of course, they'll be out at like 9:25. And those should start affecting the market a little bit. But it's 8:50 right now. We're working on some sticky note. Let me know if there's anything you guys want us to look at. Put it in the chat, some trades that you guys might be thinking about. And we'll see if they fill in the gap for us over here.
Some of the banks with an uptick here as well, back to session highs for Goldman. Some interesting comments from President Trump surrounding the CEO of Goldman Sachs, telling him to essentially concentrate on being a DJ, and that's about it. So we'll keep an eye on banks. I mean, super strong yesterday, basically most of the session. There's XLF, if you want to have a look at the entire thing. We're up here again this morning. Not a heck of a lot of trading action so far in the pre-market here, but banks still look good. Yeah,
I still feel that we're going to get a nice tailwind going into the fall, Brendo, as Donald Trump and his administration have made very clear. They're looking at deregulation in the second half of this year, especially for some of these Biden-era regulatory pushes that they had on the banks, as well as the Obama era as well. So we'll see exactly how much deregulation there is. We already saw it with Wells Fargo, removing the asset cap there, so allowing the bank to grow. So I feel like we're going to get more of this. I've been in the XLF for a couple of years now. I'm just going to hold on to that bad boy, Brendo, into long term.
Here's Citigroup. Didn't get to that one, but Citigroup just taking out the highs, guys, probably looking among the best, if not the best at this point. JP Morgan as well, all trying to tick higher here once again, 2 days in a row.
Yeah, Citigroup's the one that's there's so many breakout. This is the thing, when the market's at all-time highs, there's going to be a lot of breakout plays because you'll have so many stocks that are sort of playing catch-up and approaching their highs, or just maybe they've consolidated, pulled back. But Citigroup, as you said, Brennan, that kind of would be the one here today. I'm not as jazzed. I've said this before. I'm not as jazzed about XLF in the general sense, load. But this is nice. It's finally, see what was happening the last little bit? Hold that 50 period and ride that 50 period moving average. Now you're finally getting a little bit of breakaway. So I think this can play catch up. It's just accumulation at the 50 period is the best way to think about it on XLF. And now it looks like it's going to join the party of the all-time high breaks.
Yeah, I put a decent play on JP Morgan. It's been working out, and we'll wait to see if it breaks 300. I mean, the Citigroup chart's at the highs, and this whole Goldman Sachs, like Donald Trump is just a funny guy at the end of the day. But DJ David there has been absolutely ripping this stock. I mean, this is also at all-time highs. So if I'm a shareholder, man, let this man take out his turntables and just start spinning the shit out of it, because this is like, when did he even come in? When was, again, I could just ask, when did Solomon become Goldman Sachs CEO? And we can find out exactly when that was here. We'll asking Perplexity here. Nice. Okay, so here we go. All right, became CEO of Goldman Sachs in October 1st, 2018, succeeding Lloyd Blankfein. All right, so 2018. So if you're going to go all the way back here, we have to, oh God, this is going to take a second to do this. Oh no, oh boy. Anyways, it looks like, all right. I can't really, our charts don't let you to zoom in that much over here. 2018, oh boy. Okay, hold on a second. I'm just going to do it on a different chart here right now. But let's just see what exactly.
2018?
Yeah,
that'll work.
Yeah, 2018. Here's the
25 to 210.
Yeah, so 25 to 210. Oh no, what 210? Hold on a second. What do you mean 210?
Well, the highs.
Oh, the highs.
Yeah.
Okay, that's. You're looking at PanW for some reason.
Oh, my bad.
That's what I was like. What are you talking about? 210? It's a $700 stock. Yeah. So right here, 2018. So right into here, he took over $240 right there. So it's a triple, up to $750. But I mean, other bank stocks have been great as well. Citigroup not as much because I think they had the hangover. Well, obviously, okay, yeah. This is what I'm talking about when you're looking at some of these charts from 2008. But yeah, so if you look and compare it to J.P. Morgan, so Jamie Dimon has underperformed. He was 118 or so, now 300, so close, but not a triple. So Goldman Sachs again, you know, Jamie Dimon, David Solomon. Have definitely steered these in the right direction. Morgan, yeah, I think they're all very, very close to that. But.
In my head, I always crap on Morgan Stanley, but it's actually done pretty well. That's the funny thing. Like sometimes what'll happen is you'll get like comparison. Whatever happens in the short term, like if JP Morgan's doing better than Morgan for a while, you forget that over the long haul they've been both very, very good. But what's also very good is to get to the green screen, see what the upgrades and downgrades are telling us.
Funny we've been talking about banks so much because actually the first one here is a bank, TD Bank to be specific, with an upgrade from Desjardins. Palo Alto Networks getting its second upgrade this week, this one from Deutsche Bank. They actually report earnings coming through next Monday. Novo Nordisk here getting upgraded by BNP Paribas Exane. And then we have Lemonade getting an upgrade from Cantor Fitzgerald. On the downgrade side of things, C3AI started this week with a pretty nasty gap to the downside on some negative preliminary earnings. Oppenheimer, though, adding here with a downgrade for the stock. Then we've got ON or On Holding here. ONON is the ticker. Jefferies downgrading this one after their earnings yesterday. Artivion getting a downgrade here from Ladenburg Thalmann. And then we've got Open Door, one of a recent meme favorite, we'll put it that way, getting a downgrade today from Keith Bruyette, but it's still up pre-market. Back to you.
The price target of $1 on Open Door. Yeah, tell me you didn't put. It was like, tell me you didn't put thought into it without telling me. You're just like, I just throw a number out there, lower than where it is right now. $1. There's no methodology there. PanW, this is one. This is why I had PanW up, because it was on the board and I wanted to mention it. And we talk about buying quality companies on a monthly chart of PanW. If we're sitting down looking at those, looking at these, they're going into earnings after a pretty rough month. Like this is the worst. Well, not this month, but last month was the worst month PanW has seen in quite some time, notionally. I mean, percentage-wise, maybe there's something else that's going to be bigger, because obviously as the stock goes up, you know how it works. But I think this is a good opportunity here. They need to get through the earnings, but buying the earnings dip is going to make sense to me. Because it could even dip further, and I still think you're laughing. Like this could pull back 20%, and I just think that will provide you with a good opportunity. With that whole notion of quality companies rise higher, that's what's happening. I like the cybersecurity space. This is one will be on watch. Next week, I believe, we get their report for Palo Alto. So yeah, one to watch, but certainly an opportunity after a massive down month last month.
For me, I was expecting to see Big Bear AI on that board somewhere, because we had C3 AI and we knew that they were going to come with a downgrade because they got smoked. And Big Bear AI yesterday got smoked on earnings, but then it smoked everybody who was going short throughout the whole day. And this is what Big Bear AI looked like throughout the whole day. Just kept on ripping up, and we basically closed near or at the highs. Obviously, there was a little bit of a dump down. I think there was a market on close and balance to the sell side, but you're at risk here. That's 580 right here on Big Bear AI. So I would like to see that come into play and hold. I mean, we held it yesterday at 2 o'clock, then 2:30 we tried it, and that's sort of where we closed, and then we're trying to get a little higher than that. The breakout here on Big Bear AI, 610. So I think I'll be involved in that break long there on Big Bear AI at 610. I'm not sure, like the report was horrible. I talked about that with Brian Shannon yesterday. We talked about it here live on the show. No more backlog, a horrible miss. It was 71 cents versus minus 6 cents. Like it was just bad. They didn't talk very positively about too much. I'm actually extremely surprised about this move here on Big Bear AI, but then I look over here and I realize, and not realize, we always realize this is part of the story why we're in it anyways. You still got 31% of a short flow. Now this gets updated every 2 weeks or so we'll have to wait for the more updated version of that. But yeah, I like it breaking through 610. Just to try. And then the thing is, if you take 500 shares or whatever you can take, if it comes back into $6, you can sort of hold that accountable. So I think that's well worth it. The risk is well here for Big Bear AI this morning, and I like it as a breakout long.
All right, let's get into everything else we need to know here. Busy morning, lots to understand. We'll kick things off with a look at, hey, we're at all-time highs again for the market.
Ridiculous, Brenda. We're knocking on the door of 6,500 here on the ES September contract, having closed out yesterday at 64, high 60s. It looks like 68, 69, with the overnight high, Brenda, being 64.88. So we are literally knocking on the door of that 100-point area at 6,500. So we'll use the 50-point area, 64.50, as support if we start selling off, as resistance, that 100-point area, 6,500.
If you haven't done so already, make sure you take a second, jump down to the description of this video. Top link in the description will get you to the sign-up page, as always, for the watch list. Absolutely free. We put it together every single morning as what you need to know in the pre-market daily on it. CRWV included in that list today. CoreWeave with earnings this morning. Back to the downside we go through to 134. There's a lot of interesting notes in this. One of them on the power side, they're projected to double in the second quarter. The active AI powered that they're offering, so 470 megawatts and 900 megawatts by the end of 2025. New deals coming through as well, or expanded deals as well, but still, market doesn't like it.
Yeah, look, Brendo, they're adding the power they need at 250 megawatts in New Jersey. We'll talk about that in a second. But yeah, decent report, sold off, as you mentioned. Let's talk about how they did. EPS came in at 21 penny loss. It's not really directly comparable to estimates, so I don't have a comp to give you. On revenue of 1.21 billion, the street was looking for 1.08, so an easy beat there. And guys, they tripled their revenue year over year on the quarter. They printed a little bit less than $400 million last year on the quarter, so good loss. Good look there. They continue to lose money, though. $290 million net loss, narrower than the $323 million they lost last year. Their operating margins fell to 2% from 20% due to a one-time $145 million stock-based compensation. The debt also rising as they take on more obviously debt to buy some of these the infrastructures. $11.1 billion. Demand for NVIDIA-powered AI infrastructure remains above supply, the company said. They're also expanding their relationship with the OpenAI. They added Goldman Sachs and Morgan Stanley as new customers, and they acquired Weights and Biases for $1.4 billion to enhance their AI modeling capabilities. So good acquisition there. Their guide here is not bad. Q3 revenue forecast 1.26 to 1.3, above the 1.25 expected, with their full year 2025 revenue guidance also raising here 5.15 billion to 5.35, up nicely from the 4.9 to 5.1 the street was looking for. And last but not least here, as you were mentioning, 250 megawatt New Jersey data centers scheduled for 2026, and they plan to offer spot GPU rentals. So if you don't want to, take a month's worth of their supply and you just kind of want to train your LLM or do some inferencing, they're going to give you that one-off opportunity.
It seems like they're going to need some other offering along the way here. It's interesting on the analyst side of things this morning, for the most part, kind of shoulder shrugs, everyone just maintaining where they were anyways. For the most part, the market's still pricing this thing well above where they are. However, price targets lower, guys.
Yeah, look, the revenue growth year over year was obviously huge, almost 300 times. But they trade, I think we're saying 13 or 14 times sales, right? So it's a recent IPO, so those metrics don't necessarily hold too much weight. That being said, it doesn't look very good. There was no way, we even said this yesterday before the earnings, that candle was never going to look good. You failed exactly the 50 period and exactly $150 on a wraparound. It's a pretty decent reversal looking candle. So if it's not going to get above, and then you look at it on the 15 minute, if we can't get back above 140, it's like the 140 to 142 range. So I wrote on my iPad 141, but it's the 40 to 42 range, kind of like this prior high. And then after the opening rush, you had some support there at 141.5. If we're not getting above that, I'm sitting bearish on CoreWeave. And ultimately, there's a lot of, today, everyone in the chat, and a lot of people are going to be looking at crypto, ETH. We're going to be talking about Bullish in here. You've got a lot of other places that you can look, especially, day two after what was a fantastic run off 100 to 150, and day one after earnings is a big rejection. So if we get up into that 140, 141, I think it's a short. I might even look to a breakdown trade if some volume can come in on the open. I did pay for locates on CoreWeave today. I'm just not feeling bullish unless it's over 142.
So, I mean, all you did was come back to where you were yesterday. Like, it's almost like just yesterday's move didn't happen. So, you know, the fact that we're falling back into 134, 135 here actually makes me more comfortable about the long. Like, I like this long between 130 to 133, 30 billion in backlog hit. I don't know, underscoring robust demand, visibility and expansion, hyperscale. Like they have a lot of business ready to go. And they just talked about the expansion. You know, it sucks that they losing money yesterday. Net loss widened to 290 million right there, but it's the heavy investment, right, that they're making. So I think this is a long, and I think if you can get in between 130 and 131, I like CoreWeave here. I think it battles back today. The story of AI is, I don't know what inning we're in, third, fourth. I don't know what inning we're in right now, but we're definitely not in the first and we're not in the ninth. So I like CoreWeave. I still think it can perform quite well. Obviously, you want to talk about IPOs. I mean, what a great one this one's been. And this just goes to show you, no matter what happens off the IPO and the IPO day, there's going to be days after that you can still trade these stocks. So CoreWeave, had this huge move up, and then we just stopped on a dime at 100 and then ripped back up. Like, as we said, we are already up. We can't expect that much from that number. We were up 47% in 7 trading days. So, I mean, I like CoreWeave. I think you get an opportunity to buy this thing down in the low 130s. I think it is a buy. And yeah, full steam ahead with CoreWeave. I like the business. I think you get a little bit more explanation of what exactly it is. Full year revenue guidance, $5 billion. I mean, come on. This is a company that's making money and has customers. So just like that sort of chart that we showed you upside, I think there's more upside here with CoreWeave.
Circle back to the downside right now. If you missed it, after the close yesterday, they come out with this public offering of 10 million shares, Class A stock. So a nice, what is that, $4 or $5 move to the downside, I guess, after the close yesterday. We're kind of back in the middle of that range, however. We are trying to get back above some support levels right now. So maybe just a liquidity event. We'll see how it opens.
We'll see, Brendo. I mean, it's not a bad look, especially if they're going to buy or they're going to expand their offerings here. So we'll have to see what they do with the money. Usually they're general corporate purposes. But here are the details. So 2 million shares are going to be offered by Circle, and then an additional 8 million shares are going to be offered from existing shareholders. Underwriters will also have a 30-day option to purchase an additional 1.5 million shares. So we'll keep an eye out on that. I think the underwriters are JP Morgan and Goldman Sachs in this case. In case you're wondering what Circle's been doing, it's soared 450% since its IPO on June 5th. It did close down yesterday, and they did report a Q2 loss of about $4.48 per share, really driven by IPO-related charges. In their last earnings report, revenue was up 53% year over year, fueled by strong stablecoin growth. That infographic is wrong. It says Q2 2024. Mind that, it means 2025, boys.
Do we get a little bit of follow through here? Is the question today, guys, after that sell the news yesterday?
It's crypto day today. So, I mean, this has been doing, you know what? It's been effectively doing nothing if you look at the daily chart for a week now. Right? Like, it's been chilling out, holding effectively 149, 150 at the bottom. Now, it's made some moves. It's made some big moves, obviously yesterday reversing a huge one, but that's where to look. If it gets down there, there's, like, where else are you supposed to buy this thing? It's showing you this last week where the floor is on Circle. And it's been right there at the 150 level. It's down 3 points today. Obviously, if you want to go squeezing, if ETH takes out that high, I think it would be a heck of a lot better if you could be squeezing through some tops here and like taking out 170 or the 168 area. But looks to me like a test of those lows where you've had support before can make some sense here on Circle. But I don't know if we're going to get another chance to talk about this. I think having a look and trying to join ETH, if ETH makes the all-time high breakout today, you'll want to be there. Yesterday, it was right away off the open, like it just started going ham. But there was, I'll show you, like there was one little dip into the prior high, and then it ran trend up on ETH. Given the move that we've seen, like the prior high is a much bigger dip. So if I see ETH dipping before it makes it to the all-time high, I'd look for that kind of bounce off the prior day highs. So yesterday's tops here, about 42.7 on this bad boy. So look, I'm going to be interested for sure. whether you're looking at ETHA, ETH, sort of the same looking charts there. I think you've got to pay attention to them. Circle, of course, that 150. If we get there, I like it, but I'm not even sure we're going to get to that bottom. Probably just start blasting.
Yeah, I just put the link to the sticky note in the chat. Shout out to Thomas, all at you here, because he's looking for it. Yeah, look, Circle, you know, we saw this live on air last night when it happened. We talked about, you know, it's dropped through there at whatever time it was, 4:15 or whatever. Nice move back in, hits that 152 mark. And then that 152 mark right into here, or 150, 152. I mean, that's, again, just goes back a couple days into some decent support down there. So, you know, you fall back into some of these levels. I think you want to buy it. I don't know if I love Circle. I'm not sure about the USDC, and it's already worth so much, this company here, market value. I'm not sure if it's right here at this price, but yeah, I'd like to see it get a little lower before I actually bought some Circle in my account, but you know, we were waiting for Reddit. We didn't take that, and then that started to rip up. So maybe this is a decent level right here. 150, 155 goes all the way back to, I mean, all the way back. It's a relatively new company, but back there into a new IPO, not new company, but right there, 148, 150 goes back to June, you know, mid-June. So 2 months of sort of data to remember these levels. So you know, any sort of a dip down in Circle, if they don't really like this offering or the market retraces, I think you got to buy it at 158, or sorry, at 152. I'm not sure you're going to get that dip though. So that move might be over. So then you just go breakout 162. But yeah, there's a few bigger names to look at today. But yeah, Circle down 3%. I want to go long today with markets at all-time highs. I know maybe that sounds silly because sometimes we do get pullbacks from all-time highs, but I want to be long the name today. Bigger names, bigger Nasdaq names, Google, NVIDIA's, the TQs. I actually have a TQQ trade that I'm going to get ready to put on. It's only 9:11 right now, so we have tons of time left here. But yeah, Ethereum, I really like that call as well. We're going to wait for the IPO. We've got some other actionable trades coming through, and we're going to talk. Yeah,
already 3 million.
Go talk.
It was 800,000 buying balance when we started.
It's just going to get the price through the roof.
That's what I'm saying. Like and that hasn't even moved the auction price yet. So I actually don't think the auction price moved last time until like 10 o'clock or something. When we're talking about Figma or CoreWeave, but that just continues to grow, and we'll talk about it right now.
Yeah.
All right, let's get you the details here. If you missed it early on, we were discussing in the first 30 minutes of the show. Here we go, $37 up pricing. The initial was between 32 and 33, the range anyways, but $5.5 billion raised here for this company, set to debut at some point today on the NYSE.
Yeah, so you gave the shares, you gave the details there, Brendo, about the share pricing above the initial offering, how much they're going to raise, $5.4 billion. They're going to expand, the offering expanded to 30 million shares, up from the initial 20.3 million planned. We're obviously reflecting stronger demand. They raising about $1.1 billion from the IPO, with underwriters granted about a 30-day option to buy more. That's typical for these cases. It's going to trade on the New York Stock Exchange under ticker BLSH, guys. So make sure you're choosing the right exchange there. If you have to choose your gateway. BlackRock, Cathie Wood's ARK Invest all expressed interest in buying up to $200 million in shares in the IBO bookrunners, JP Morgan, Jefferies, and Citigroup's all underrating this. And now, if you're wondering what this company is all about, it's founded back in 2021. They target institutional crypto trading, combining DeFi protocols with centralized security. Those are two things that you don't usually see together. It's led by Tom Farley, Brendo, who's a former New York Stock Exchange president. It's headquartered in the Cayman Islands, so not in the United States. Total platform trading volume exceeded $1.25 trillion last year, so really obviously quite big, actually as of March 31st, not last year. And they also own CoinDesk, providing crypto indexes, data, and analytics. And just to give you an idea here, backers include billionaire Peter Thiel, as well as others. And this is Bullish's second IPO attempt since it's launched, and we know how well some of these crypto IPOs have done with Bull and Circle.
I mean, I think in general, the appetite for IPOs of late has just been off the charts. So definitely will be exciting. I was just reading a note on Amazon there. It's not really moving. They were talking about expanding their grocery offerings throughout a whole bunch more cities in the U.S. So just keep an eye on Amazon if anyone was looking at that. Thoughts here, guys, for BLSH?
So before we get to this, and it's going to be standard sort of thoughts on bullish, because you can leave the higher time frame stuff for a little bit later. The trade is going to be the trade. We got a super chat, and it's in the space. 55 guy here asked about how do we feel about Robinhood today. And then Carolina Tech, we missed this one, I believe. How do you guys feel about Apple 230 break? Apple broke 230 already. Just let me do the Apple. Like Apple broke 230 multiple times yesterday and couldn't break 231. So Apple, yeah, it's not really a breakout at that price because it's gone through back and forth multiple times in the afternoon yesterday. But 231 would look to be the breakout price on Apple. As far as Robinhood goes, my feelings on it are, not this one today. Somebody seems in control at 117 on Robinhood. Maybe this is a breakout. I feel like if this is broken out, then hopefully already into ETH. And yeah, that's sort of my thing. Like I think I want to be looking directly at ETH today. That said, the last 3 sessions, you've seen very clearly a seller at the 117 area. So it gets in there and it comes out the wrong way, unfortunately. Until that stops and you can maybe break away 118, I think you got to go dip buying where 113 has been pretty good that entire range. So those are my thoughts there. As far as bullish goes, we mentioned it's 3 million on the buy-in balance. Still, yeah, 3.2 million on the buy-in balance. Don't know where it's going to open up, but we'll look to take the opening print. And when you look at what happened in, what was the last one? I'll just pull up. It doesn't really matter. You can pull up Circle, you can pull up CoreWeave. For the first 2 days, these were just, it was bullish, and then it settled down a bit, and then it went again. So I'm just going to look bullish on the first day on a momentum basis. It has nothing to do with its valuation to me, as far as I'm concerned. All about the hype when it comes to bullish. So when it opens, we'll go for the long. Put the stop under, scalps them out. If it goes into one of those crazy halts to the upside, great. My guess is it doesn't because 3 in a row seems a little crazy. After Figma did it, I think those are the outliers when you go into a halt 30 seconds after. I don't anticipate that, but if it happens, fantastic. I mean, ultimately, these are binary type plays if you just take it off of the open. After the fact, VWAP held well on Figma if memory serves. That could be something to look at after.
Look, on Figma, we had the biggest trade in the show's history, and we'll see if we can do it again here today with Bullish. I have no idea what's going to happen, and we got everybody all horned up about it around here, so you're going to see Joe, Adara, Sharif, everybody wants to take it now, and that's sort of a crowded trade when everybody else is doing what everybody else is telling them to do. It does become a little bit of an issue, but I'll still take it, whatever. But yeah, Coinbase up 1.65%. I mean, I think you got to look at other names today in the space because this could be, if it doesn't go well, which is possible, I mean, it could IPO and go down. We saw Fly went down, IPO'd 68. I think it went down to 60 within the first minute or so. So, you take 500 shares or something, you lose $10. You're not loving IPO time anymore either. But I just want to see what happens. So Coinbase, again, trying to break out, a momentum here. If Bullish gets a great valuation, which they're going to today, I could see Coinbase going. Remember, it's that whole thing, like if you're worth this, then what am I worth? So 340 and change, I think for Coinbase is definitely possible today. I mean, that's not even that big of a move, really. 327. You get other names, might people confuse Bullish with Webull, maybe, and that name continues to climb as well off of they had an offering and not that great either, but nice bounce off at 13 off of the 50-period moving average. I think this is ready to break out as well. You got a little bit of work to go up to 1650, so I don't think that that's going to be happening right away. And then another name like we talked about SoFi, we got some out at 24, now it's above 24, so there goes SoFi again, huge move to the upside. One more time for SoFi after falling about 10 to 15% there after earnings. They really, really respected that $20 level like crazy, and now they're up 2.5%. So, a lot of these names that continue, and then Neil started with Robinhood, so we don't need to talk about that too much, but all of these crypto and sort of account-related names where you're holding money on account, obviously they're going to continue to work here with a big day for the space. So that's sort of why I think Circle could be a long, Coinbase, Robinhood, SoFi, like a whole basket, right? You're waiting for that new Fintech ETF, but there has to be. But I just
couldn't find a good one, but this has to be something.
Well, they won't put these new companies in until they have more data, so we'll wait for that. But yeah, anyways, blast off on all of them. I feel like SoFi would be the one that I'd want to look at the most. And we get all excited about this, and I know Neil said all eyes will be on Bullish and this and that, but that's not till 2 o'clock. So the market's going to have 6 hours of other trading. So these stocks will continue to move. And, with SoFi breaking out right here today, I think this is going to be a fantastic long, at least until, 132 when we finally get that IPO. And that's just a guess. The last couple IPOs have been between 1 and 2 o'clock. So if the same thing holds there, they've both been Nasdaq in New York, doesn't really matter. 24.40, a nice little topside play there for SoFi. So I like that play. I think it's a win today, going long some of these related names. So, all right. What's not along is probably Cava, and we saw from Chipotle, what happens here to some of these names, and it's a tough business, and we're going to go find out more about the quarter from the guys at the desk.
Trying to bounce right now, but yeah, pretty ugly overall following the earnings. 64 seems to be long term. If you zoom out a lot, I'll pull up a weekly chart here, but I mean right across the board, man.
Yeah.
Here.
It was not good, Brendo. EPS of 16 pennies. That's the only thing that beat, guys. The street was looking for 13. Revenue missed. $280.6 million is what they generated. The street wanted 285.6 net income as well. Also fell year over year, down to 18.4 million from 19.7. So at least they're still profitable. Their net restaurant sales rose 20% up to 278, really driven here by new openings. Joseph will cover some of that on the midday show when we do the news. Make sure to check out that with us. They lowered their full year guidance as well here, down 4 to 6%. Same store sales growth year over year. The street was looking for 6 to 8%. Their shares plunged about 20% after hours, and the stock is now down about 40% year to date. Their same store sales traffic is up 2.1%, but that misses the 6.1% expectations. Traffic was also flat versus last year when they grew at about 14.5% year over year on that. The weakness mirrors the broader fast casual slump. We saw this with Chipotle, Brendo, who had weak Q2 same store sales, and Sweet Garden as well. They cut their guidance, sending shares lower.
115 started the year, 115-ish, got all the way to 140, 145. Yeah, we blew through all of these levels. This is a weekly chart. We blew through all of these levels on the higher time frame. We're all the way down here. Got to go back to April of last year to find anything, guys, for Cava.
This analysis on Cava, and we'll talk about some Chipotle as well, brought to you by VinFast, everybody. VinFast delivered over 35,800 EVs in Q2 of 2025, marking a 172% jump from last year. That brings their first half total to more than 72,000 EVs, up over 220% year over year. With stronger sales usually in the second half, they're on pace to easily double 2024's 97,000 units. They're also crushing it on two-wheelers, with nearly 70,000 e-scooters and bikes sold in Q2, up 432% from a year ago. And with gas-powered two-wheelers being phased out in Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City by 2026, the growth potential looks huge. You can find them on the Nasdaq under ticker VFS or get more information from the QR code below. What I hope doesn't, for anyone that's in Cava, I hope it doesn't do what CMG did, because Chipotle had a very, very similar look on earnings, bounced for a day and then continued to flush. So the encouraging spot is that it bounced for a day and then continued to flush, at least for now, because Cava is attempting to bounce. Usually I'd be looking for, it's down over 10%, obviously down 22%. I'd be looking for like that SSR bounce, but it's already held the low and made a move. So it seems less likely that that's the case. So I'm probably sitting this one, let's go back to the daily chart, I'm probably sitting this out unless we get somewhere close to prior lows, and that's in the 70 to 71 range. If we don't get a shot to play the long reversal off the bottom, then you gotta wait patiently for the short. As long as it's under 70 to 71, it's a breakdown on the daily, which means mean reversion shorts for me on Cava. And if it bounces today, I'm gonna remember the Chipotle pattern. Just because it got a bit of a salvo to catch a bid on the day one, Chipotle was down for 2 weeks after that. So continuation after this, after the disappointment. You get used to, look, when this was going great for a very long time, everyone got used to double-digit same-store sales growth, and it's like you could do no wrong, and the valuation was high because they kept growing at such a fantastic rate. But when you start missing out on things like look, when the expectations are mid-single digits and you're missing those, or mid to high single digits and you're missing those with the same store sales growth, that's what's going to happen. The valuation catches up with you. There's other places people can choose. Tech obviously giving us everything we want. So it's falling out of favor a little bit. I'm sure there will be a bottom at some point, but it seems it hasn't found it yet.
Yeah, look, we talk about this all the time, and that is that valuation only matters when you miss. When you're beating, valuation goes higher because nobody's downgrading you, no one's even looking at your PE, right? I mean, look at Palantir as an example. But the problem with Cava is quite simple. There's no more office anymore, okay? Like, their big thing with CMG and all this is that, you know, you go to the store, you order it on the app, you pay your $20 for a bowl of who knows what, and you eat it with all your bros sitting there on Wall Street or wherever you are, and you feel good about eating healthy and Cava and Chipotle and all this kind of stuff, and you have a good old time. Well, right now, no one's coming back to work, okay? I mean, you can even look around here. It's 2-3 days a week instead of 5 days a week. You know, they used to get just the straight fact of customers are gone now. They're not around. And you know, what people are doing now is chilling at home, ordering food at home, working from home. You know, not coming into the office, not going to these, you know, high rent spaces where Cava could sit there and charge, you know, like I said, that much money for, I mean, whatever. We don't have Cava here, and I love eating it. We have Freshie, I love Chipotle and all that kind of stuff. But look what Cava's doing, and look what DoorDash is doing. So, you know, this is where the money's going right now. It's the sit-at-home crew doing what they're doing, and Cava and Chipotle, even I'm surprised. I mean, McDonald's is much more than that. I mean, bigger drive-through business. Obviously, McDonald's does excel with Uber Eats and DoorDash and things like that, especially around here anyways. But CMG is the same fate. So I think all of these names that, you know, used to be in high rent districts that right now don't have as many people walking around the streets. It's just not the same thing, not the same environment that we used to be in. So for me, I think you stay away until you learn more about it. And I just don't know enough about the business to say that I'm right or wrong with that analysis, but it seems to be pretty close to me. So we just got those imbalances out, and there's really nothing on here at all. I don't really know. There's no big names. Alibaba's been busting out another 3% today, it looks like, so that could be one on there. Big Bear AI, we're going to watch that for 610. We talked about that level right there into the close. But there's no major Nasdaq names on here that I can see, so we'll wait to see what happens. I was hoping that, Goggle, G-O-O-G-L, how many more do we? Oh, we have Google next. Okay, so we'll talk about that in a minute. I was thinking that this could be on the imbalance, but yeah, nothing's been happening here so far. So not much going on. Quick check on NVIDIA, then we'll go back to the boys. Yeah, so again, like no major moves off of any of these imbalances there today. So yeah, it's summertime, remember. I don't want, people have to, like it's middle of August right now. With like everybody waiting for Labor Day, you know, kids back to school over here. Rob going crazy over here with all the tech. You know, there's lots of stuff happening, and a lot of it does not relate to trading at this very moment. So it's very, very quiet around here right now in the market. It's gonna spike up in just a couple seconds, but for right now, limited moves in the pre-market other than some of these big names that we've talked about. So, all right, let's go back over the desk and wrap this up with Google.
Minutes ago here, let's touch on Google. If you missed it, in the first 30 minutes, we were discussing this Perplexity angle. I mean, it's a long shot at best. If you missed it yesterday, $34.5 billion. I don't even want to call it an offer, just an idea maybe for Perplexity to acquire Chrome, which is weird because they just came out with their own Comet browser a couple weeks ago. So this is going to take a long time minimum to get any sort of resolution, I think. For
sure. It feels like this is going to be dragged out, Brendo. How Google responds to this offer will be interesting. Let's talk about the details. So they made Perplexity, that is an unsolicited $34.5 billion all-cash offer for Alphabet's Chrome browser, over twice its own valuation. I got to caveat this, though, guys, because Perplexity did raise money in July in a secondary offering, and they raised that $18 billion valuation. So the article says 14, but the latest value is 18. The startup has previously made headline offers, including a January bid to merge with TikTok US, so not the first time they've thrown things out there. Google has not put Chrome up for sale and intends to appeal a prior U.S. court ruling finding it held an unlawful search monopoly. And the Department of Justice is seeking a Chrome divestiture here by Google, but you feel like Google's going to take this to the Supreme Court. So the Chrome divestiture is part of the remedies in the search antitrust case. Legal experts say, though, a sale order could be delayed for years due to appeals up to the Supreme Court, and the judge, as I mentioned, is expected to issue remedies ruling this month. Perplexity has raised about $1 billion from backers. This is how they're going to pay for it, like Nvidia, SoftBank, and they claim multiple unnamed funds have also offered full deal financing. The offer excludes any equity and pledges to keep Chromium, which is the platform off which Chrome is built, open source, and they're going to invest, in addition to that, $3 billion over 2 years to keep Chrome the default search engine in Chrome. So we'll keep an eye out on that, Brendo. But yeah, lots of unresolved issues.
Yeah, much more to come on that front. Big day yesterday, meanwhile, guys, for Alphabet shares. Do we get some follow through?
I hope so, because I like the long end of the all-time. I mean, yeah, I like the long end of the all-time high. If we could dip into 200, fair enough. That's that trend bottom that we're looking at. But yesterday's top was 204.50. I like that for a breakout at the open. Here on Alphabet. Don't sleep on AMD, which also had that news. A positive note from Fubar? But the opening bell brought to you by VinFast. Scan that QR code, get some more information on them as Bullish Day has arrived, and we can ring that bell in 2 and 1. Get it, Adara.
All right, thanks, Adara, for that. Oh, we're into something right now. Google. So Google, for some reason, just breaks.
It didn't break.
No, it didn't, but I got in, so I don't know. We'll wait for it to happen now. So I was going to go long on a break of 204.20, and it did break it, but it must have just been a print, and it gets me long down here at 204 and change. So, okay, first trade is now in. That's going to be Google. We'll watch out for it. Let's see if it wants to rip up to the high side. Hopefully it does, but we got to let this
AMD
settle down. Yeah, okay, so AMD's going. Let it settle down just a little bit. We're into Google, first trade so far. The other trade that I liked here on the note, so we have Google's on the sticky note. That's trade one. The other one was NVIDIA 184 break. That's nowhere near. That's going the other way right now. So we'll wait for NVIDIA to try to make a bottom here of some sort. We're only in Google, and it's only doing this. So right now, not much going on here as we sort of thought, but we'll wait for some more trades. Intel was maybe a day two play. We can look at that. You're not into anything yet, so let me just go over here.
AMD is going ham up.
By the way, the position board is not working because I am long.
Yeah, you can, yes. Yeah, the position board again.
Go ahead, yeah.
No, I was going to say, NVIDIA not tanking, but heading to the downside. AMD going a little bit ham to the upside there. Like, it's up 182. You've got to be kidding me. Oh, we didn't mention Rigetti.
182. Wow.
Rigetti didn't move much on the earnings, but it's moving now. Rigetti just went to $17 in one shot.
Wow, it went right back, huh?
Oh, my goodness. That's absolutely insane. So this was down at 15, then flat. 16, now back into 17, Rigetti. I'd assume there's going to be some sympathy plays that are rocking and rolling. I like BBAI long yesterday, and look, it's going to be SS load. Anyways, there was someone holding at 596. It looks like this one wants to go. I'm playing over under at $6. If it holds this $6 level for a couple of candles, I'm taking the shot to hold at that 6 level. AMD's completely gone. Google hasn't broken 204.5 for me yet, so not much of a setup for anything yet for myself. Circle might get to 150. At least that could happen. Like Circle, that support's been at 150 all week, and it is dropping heavy here off of the open. Yikes, Circle, 5%. It had come so far back.
We got a little bit more. Did we just get 27s? Oh, no, we didn't. We were at 27. So we got 20s and then waiting for 27s here on Google just because that's been the high. I mean, I don't know. Hopefully it can come in. I'm going to stop out. We're not going to do what we did yesterday and just chase these names because I thought I liked them. We're going to wait. If this breaks the low of the day, then we're going to be gone. But look at the Nasdaq right now. It's absolutely blasting. And, of course, the stock we're in is not. Yesterday we were long on Apple. And today, yeah, it prints like crazy. Great super chat that we got right there early about this breakout there through 230. Yeah, it started the day above it, and now it keeps on continuing. Right now, NVIDIA is finally starting to pop or go down.
NVIDIA is about to break.
Okay, so that's about to break our level here of 184.
Yeah.
We're going to go long into 184 if and when this does wind up happening. But for right now, I'm only into Google, and it's not doing anything. So that kind of sucks for me. But we'll go on something else. We will check out on Big Bear AI. I do want you guys to start putting. Yeah, so nothing's going on there. Here, I'm going to restart.
Seriously.
I'm going to restart this Fabian thing here.
Tesla's trying to. I mean, the market's absolutely blasting here. It's AMD that's gone. If NVIDIA doesn't play catch up, there's not going to be. My backup plan was NVIDIA. AMD just
Fabian, your thing is
took
down.
absolutely no prisoners there. 183 now. If NVIDIA can't break 184 when AMD is doing this, I will be absolutely shocked. So I'm pretty sure it's going to happen any second now. But AMD is really the story. OKLO on earnings. Sorry, it wasn't earnings. I believe they got it wasn't an upgrade either.
But is Palantir $5,000 yet?
OKLO up 6%, broke that $82 mark. That's also continuing to go higher. Pretty much everything except for Circle is blasting at this moment.
Yeah, no, not everything, man. The only stock that any of us are in is not doing anything right now. Google is.
But it's not moving. It's not going down.
Yeah, it's not blasting, which I wish it was blasting right now, as we'll wait to see if it will blast or not. Also, another name not blasting as well, Palantir. We were just talking about that. That's going down right now. So as the market continues to rip higher, what is leading this market right now? You guys in the chat, let us know, because obviously it's nothing that we're looking at. Let's go over to JP Morgan and have a quick little look there. Yes, so maybe it is a little bit here from the financials, as it's not up that much, 0.4. It's a nice move. Is it just the same old stocks as always? Is it Meta going right now? No. Is it Mike? I mean, I know it's Apple. We've already looked at Apple a little bit there into today, but Microsoft up 0.4.
Oh, that happened.
Yeah, Cava started to rip back up again.
All right, Cava's at that 70. Like this, not the thing that I expected to be at a key level first, because I thought Cava had almost no chance to get there that quickly. $70, 70 to 71 was the phase.
It's just AMD, I guess.
AMD's going absolutely ham. Broadcom's having a strong day.
Yeah, okay.
At least when I looked at it maybe like a minute or two ago. It's just, and NVIDIA's having a good day. It just got back to green as we speak. That's the chat right there. Nice, that distracted me for a second.
Let me know if that thing is up, because I want to get it
Yeah, refresh
going.
to see what you guys are talking about. I see Amazon is in there. Tesla's having a bit of a moment as well. I just took my first shot at the Cava one, which we don't have to pay for locates on, which I guess is going to be good. But that's one heck of an opening rush. I should have a 1 minute chart up for you guys instead of a 3. You can see it a little bit better. Back in through 6.
Okay, here we go. Yes, Neil. Finally. Let's go, Google, man. We waited very, very patient, man, for this name, and boom, there it goes. Finally, we did not get out. We didn't do anything other than watch this thing go to the upside. So there it goes. Thank you so much, Google, for that. We just took some out in the 40s, so that was good. I'll take another bid here, just in case, or an offer, just in case this was temporary rip up right there. We're only out of a third of this. I mean, I have no idea where we go from here. I was just trying to try to make it. Yeah, it's still not going up. So just trying to make a little bit of money here. Back from yesterday, and then we'll see what we can do with the rest of this market. SMR, I mean, there's always new scale with earnings, I think 2 weeks ago maybe, trying to do something here. Nothing looks like. Oh, Open Door got downgraded. So, but they were, see, there goes. So Google just blasted up to the 50s. Now it's back to 204 again. So I feel like this could be a losing trade after all of this. The market actually is kind of feeling a little bit weak, because everything I'm looking at is not blasting. Open Door kind of not doing too much there, up 5% right now on a downgrade, so that's a little interesting. Breaking through that 266 would be 268, sorry, would be that top level right there. We still obviously wait for BLSH. I'll just show you what that looks like. Nothing right now. HAP hasn't changed, still $37 and nothing going on. But for me, it's a story told by Google, so we'll have to wait to see if that does anything. It's the only stock that I'm in, and we're in it pretty good. So let's wait to see where it goes right now for Google. We can start to put our orders in on BLSH.
Oh, you can? Oh, wait, thanks for letting me know. Because I'm not going to short it, but I'm going to pay for locates. I always do just in case. It allows you to, it's more flexibility in order flow. This is why we use a prior bar high when I take a trend break. Because when this broke the trend, the prior bar high just saved me about 70 pennies on Cava. When it hit this prior bar high,
were you short? Oh, you were short.
It went from 69.5 to basically 70 and change almost instantly. Still no break. What's happening on Google? This is the trade I love. It's right through this top. I gotta go back to my 3 minute. I used the 1 minute so you guys could see the trend break on Cava, but 204.5, this is where I want this breaking out. I'm crossing pretty far. Probably don't need to cross all the way up into almost 80, but I want to make sure we get that fill if Google can get there. NVIDIA's still not breaking out, 184, same thing. I had a breakout trade set for that, and it's not going anywhere. BBAI, the over-under at $6, well, it picked the under. So that's a fail for not actually, I guess I was too married to the long yesterday and really wanted it to hold above $6. You can see it just never held above $6, so no reason to get in. It might just turn into a short under 6. That was going to be the plan of action. And I'm going to go pay for locates and get my locates on Blush. Unless NVIDIA, this seems like it's the next one. Like it's at 183.9 or 6. It got to 9 before. It feels like it's going to be the one to break out here after AMD already went ham. And I did see a lot of people talking about Circle and Tesla. Circle never got to 150, where support's been all week. Not necessarily good news that they got an offering, but remember, as crypto goes, Circle has some juice to the upside as well, just being in the right space. So the fact that it's holding out is pretty good, but market's blasting, and this is down 4% under VWAP.
Yeah, Robinhood right now going oppo. It's heading to the downside right now, 115.20 right now. It's not going that bad, but it's starting to head a little lower right now. There goes Robinhood breaking lower. So this can kind of happen, right? As we talked about waiting for the IPO here, and I was like, let's wait to see what happens, to see the valuation type of thing, and then we'll move from there. But right now, Robinhood, nice downside play in the name right now for Robinhood, and that probably has something to do with SoFi. So let's go over and have a quick look to see what SoFi's been up to right now. Yeah, downside as well now for SoFi, as the market's still up, still doing pretty well. The S&P 500 right now up 0.39, and again, it's a CoreWeave kind of day maybe. Let's have a look over there. All right, so CoreWeave's still downside. We looked at maybe a 130, 131 area, so you're kind of coming into that as well. Amazon expanding same-day grocery delivery, we just heard. So an earlier report, but just giving you that, as there goes Amazon again. We had Kathy Wood and ARK come in and buy some Amazon yesterday, so we'll have to wait to see if Kathy is indeed, Shreve, getting it or not, because right now it has been a nice move to the downside for Amazon, and right there, we'll see if it can break through. Right now, I mean, it's at a great level, 225 or so. Like, that'd be nice if we can hold that and then break through and see what winds up happening. So that's all not too far away. I'm only in the one name, man, and it's Google, and we're going to wait. I mean, we're still hoping for a breakout on Google. I'm out of half of this trade already, and we're going to have another offer here in the 30s. If we can get that, then we're at 34. There it is. We got it. And now we'll wait to see if that 204.50 breaks, and we can try to hold on to the rest of them here today for Google.
Yeah, Google it looks like that is now going to break over NVIDIA. AMD just got to 185. CoreWeave is now 12% to the downside and still falling. The price for our locates on Bullish are very pricey. It's the highest cost I've seen for an IPO at real trading. It's like 26 cents a share. That's about 4 times the last couple of IPOs. That's absolutely wild. So I don't know. I'll probably still pay for them, but I'm not going short anyway, so I'm not going to pay for the full load. I don't need it. I'm not going to use them. Wow, immediately we break. I think we went like 1 cent above that breakout on Google, and then we're right back in. I want to give it the 420 because that's where support is on the prior bar, but this breakout just not going anywhere. It's like exactly what happened off of the open, but let's get my stop in and be ready to go. NVIDIA is about 25 cents away from it breaking out as well. So we'll see if that one can get going. And wow, AMD 185. 185 about to go on advanced micro devices. I guess that story by Fubor. I believe it was Fubor. Yeah,
Fubor.
I'd never heard of them until this morning, and obviously they know something and they like it, and they like it a lot, and it's working. Let's go to Adara at the desk.
Fubon is the name of the firm, just to clarify. And I want to talk about Plug Power. This is a day 2 earnings play. It is rocketing to the upside. PLUG, no other news on it. Their price target decreased to $1 yesterday, but clearly not minding pushing higher. It's worth noting, I saw a Goldman Sachs note this morning apparently saying that meme stocks are back. This could be benefiting from that, but either way, great look here for PLUG. Just so you guys know as well, no economic data at 9:45 or 10 a.m. to worry about. Back to you.
All right, so I know Neil pushed the long there at 204.50. I was getting out over there. We got some more outs. This is 204.45. That's 43s. And now we only have a third left. But we're still going to wait to see what winds up happening. Pretty good day for me there on Google as we just wait for it. But now it's trying to break a little bit lower. Let me get out of another piece here at O's just because we're dancing. There we go. We're dancing at this level. So now we'll get under that third left and make sure that we can try to run something here, hopefully on Google. Hopefully it gets back up to the upside, but hope is not something I want to trade on. We're just trading on price action, and there it was, man. The break early off in the morning. We like that trade. There it is there, 204.50. Let's just see if it breaks through it. I mean, I've liked DraftKings for a while. You guys have known that. So we're going to have to wait to see here on a pullback for DraftKings. I mean, I think that recent high was 43 or 44 or something like that on DraftKings. Sorry, that's where it is. Sorry, 46, 48, right? So that is where it was. And you're getting into a comfortable zone, I think, where you can look to buy some DraftKings. My only problem is with NFL season just starting, I think might be a little bit late. The time might have been a couple months ago, obviously, to buy these things. But down low in April, we're not like up that double or triple like a lot of these names are. So I still think DraftKings has a good runway in this market, right? Not as many states. I think there's 30-something states right now have accepted online gambling to this extent. So once that gets going, I think DraftKings will hold fort. There's a lot of advertising that I'm expecting them to be doing with, Amazon. Amazon has the Christmas game, Netflix and all that. So I feel like DraftKings is going to get more viewership and more playability because of the fact that sports, and especially the NFL, exists primarily due to gambling. And that's why a lot of these accounts are so huge right now, right? I mean, people watch more NFL now than ever, and most of that reason is, pretty much the only reason is because of online.
Let's be real. People use Sunday, whether it's Sunday Ticket or Red Zone. Most of that's because you want to see if your fantasy guy scored,
that's
or
what it is.
Parlay
it's
hit,
just gambling,
or whatever. Yet they crack down on those guys when athletes gamble on sports.
Well, they shouldn't be gambling.
No, I'm just joking. They shouldn't be. I think but although we talk about this a little bit, I think it's a little bit weird that like a college athlete can't, if you're an adult and it's legal in your state, you can't bet on another sport. It's just a little strange to me. Like the restrictions get a little bit much. Even the NFL, like you're not allowed to bet on. It's like, you should be able to bet on something that's not involving your sport if it's legal in your state.
Yeah,
you guys are advertising it everywhere. Yeah. That being said, I've taken two quick ones. And look, I said 204.20. I said 420, but I meant 204.20. Break, wait. But you're getting bottoming tails. I want to see this hold up. What's weird to me is, and I'm close to canceling the breakout on NVIDIA, what's weird to me is NVIDIA just completely flubbed the 184 again, and AMD has shown no signs of stopping. So we've rejected 184 on NVIDIA. I can't see a way in which the market holds some of these highs and NVIDIA doesn't participate if this rally continues. But you're getting a bit of a topping tail over there on the NQ. And as we're starting to pull back, ETH has done the dip. Remember yesterday, kind of dipped and then ripped. And we've seen crypto do this before. It hasn't pulled back anything crazy into prior highs, but it is holding now the pre-market low on Ethereum. There was no all-time high or anything challenge, but when you break this trend breaks, breakouts, pretty much all I'm really looking for. So we're going to get ourselves into ETHA. I haven't looked at ATNF, but I would suggest if ETH is starting to catch a bid, probably ATNF is catching a bid as well, the treasury names.
All right. I don't know if you guys remember this, but I'm just telling Brendan right now, these are the kind of things that I think we should be putting on social media when Neil and I actually make a call that works. Like we were talking about Bullish and everything like that. Here it is, man, 328 break. I said Coinbase today is probably the name, and I was like, we could probably get to 340. You're at 340 right now, so I don't have the trade on. We were mentioning it and talking about it, so to me that's, it's easy to talk about something, hard to trade it sometimes, but there it goes. And I don't know what the spread looked like. It's probably 40 or 50 cents, but congratulations to anybody that has Coinbase. The thing about it is I think you're getting into some levels now. So 350 right into here, and you're still a ways away from 350, but something like this in and around there could be a trade here for Coinbase. So I think there's some opportunity there to get going on COIN. We could watch out for that. We also did mention, other names as well, like a SoFi here today. That's come back down in, so this could be a good dip opportunity. We mentioned Webull, as people will start to confuse the names. That's not doing anything today. Neither is Robinhood was actually going the other way as well. So, you know, in some of these tech names, it looks like Coinbase is the one right here that really seems to be kicking out. So, excuse me, nice move higher. Let's see what winds up happening now with Robinhood, with Coinbase. Google makes a little bit of a low down there. We didn't do anything about it because I was going to stop out at 203.50. So we'll put another bid down there just to get a little bit more shares in this name, just in case we do that dip again. But yeah, so BMNR, I know that you're in Ethereum right now. So let's have a quick, oopsies. Let's have a quick look to see what's going on with BMNR right now. I hit enter, but it still looks at that Blue Ocean name right there. BMNR right now up 9.5%, so another big one there. Looking to take down 69.50. It looks like you might want to do that ASAP right here for BMNR. So long Ethereum, long Google, and that's it for now.
Although we have some exciting news for sophisticated Canadian traders, Beta Pro by Globex Canada has just launched 6 new triple leverage ETFs, offering 3x bull and bear exposure to the S&P TSX 60, semiconductors, and U.S. Treasuries. Even better, they're offering a special fee rebate, dropping management fees to just 65 basis points until December 31st. 2025, end of this year. These ETFs also employ currency hedging to seek to neutralize U.S. dollar exposure, providing performance that may more accurately reflect the underlying U.S. equity indices. If you're a tactical, sophisticated trader looking to amplify your performance, check out betapro.ca, 3x daily to learn more. Shout out to them. As like you were mentioning, like a lot of crypto adjacent names haven't been doing too much there, but I would suspect with the bid that just happened, like ETH just caught a little bit of a bottom in there. I don't know if Robinhood's going to catch a bottom, but certainly, I don't know why SBET's the one that comes to mind first, but SBET's trying to blow out the high of the day, and then BMNR would be the other. That's getting to the high of the day, so you're getting a nice little curl in some of these crypto adjacent names. Oh, AMD sort of failed, 185 there. AMD just tagged 185 and is pulling back. Might be able to get this to pull back into the volume weighted average price here, as it was just gone right away. Yeah, AMD, there's just some days that AMD has it and NVIDIA doesn't. There's no other way to be able to put it. And yeah, Bitcoin 121 as well. I know not to ignore Bitcoin, but Ethereum's been making a bitter move. I don't know if anyone's noticed this over the last 6 or 7 weeks, that Ethereum is up like 100% in the last couple of months, but Bitcoin is not. So we're talking a little bit more about ETH in these days. That one's trying to bust through VWAP. I will respect the fact that we're close to these all-time highs and we get to the top, I want to jump out. If we hold the volume-weighted average price, then great. I don't mind getting back in. And I see Robin in the chat mentioning a favorite, not of mine, but of Nancy Pelosi's, Tempest. Tempest AI up 5-6%. I don't really know what the story is on Tempest. I know that it's been on a bit of a rally since it bounced where? The 200-period moving average. See, Nancy Pelosi likes the 200-period moving average as well, everybody. I'm just saying. Everybody likes it too. If you like the company, you buy it at that price. I don't know if she bought there. I'm just guessing. But strong move for them. Just in ETH, still waiting to catch some kind of a move in NVIDIA if it's going to play catch up. But the way AMD's going, either I get NVIDIA off the lows, which you're waiting all the way down to close to 182, if not even further than that, holding the volume-weighted average price, which it's trying to do now, or still breaking out the top 184. Nothing too much has changed there.
Yeah, no, here's a quick little look here on a graphic for ETHA. You can't really, let me see if I can here. The volumes here. So in the last 12 months, 12 months. This is 8, 12, 10, 12, 12, yeah, just the dates. So you can see here just the volumes really starting to rip up now on ETHA over the last couple weeks. So obviously since the start of August, we've seen a really big move higher rate here. Millions of shares going through on ETHA. So as Neil just mentioned there, this is from Bespoke. So there it is. Volume in Ethereum has surged during Q3. First half of 2025, average daily volume was 12 million shares. Since July 1st, it's 3.5 that. So 44 million shares right there on Ethereum. ETF there, so ETHA. And then BMNR obviously has gone on its own little run as well, and we'll talk about that coming through a bit as well. But yeah, the crypto space just continues to kill it right now. You know, including we're talking about Solana, Ripple, all these names, XRP, Binance Coin, Cardano, Dogecoin's up 25% as well. All right, so Google just lost the bid, so it's fine. We tried it there at 67. There it goes to the downside. It's funny because we were talking about the Mag 7 before. All of these names seem to be going one way or the other. XXRP, is that?
Do we have that?
Yeah, that is daily. Yeah, we can trade this. So this is actually something that we could trade here. Thanks for putting that in the chat there. What's up to the Jameson B? Make sure you guys do hit us here in the chat because I didn't even know this existed. This is an Ethereum, XRP play. So XXRP right there. So that's cool to know. Now I know that. I didn't even know that before. What's up, Dingleberg? It's Wednesday, but I'm feeling like Uncle Fester buying Monday. Okay, at these lows. Can you check the chart? Also, shout out to my wife, Nashly. It's a pretty cool name, Nashly.
Yeah.
Nashly. Cool. What's up, Nashly? Thank you for watching. And yeah, we all had case in the Mondays, right? I mean, they came out with an earnings report that was not great, and they got crushed to the downside, I believe, unless I'm not.
Oh, there was 27?
Mistaken there, yeah, down to 175 and change. So now you're up over 2% right now. And just barcode nation, right? Nashly, if you scan this barcode, you will get a free bull at Cava. So you could scan that right now and grab it. But yeah, you know, nice downside play there, breaking through. Honestly, I can't, what's up, Barry Dingle? I can't really support this name until we get at least above, you know, this 210 area, but you are, as we zoom back out, as we always say that, this is 2023 levels back into here of 175. So if you're in this name and you like the space, I think this, which the space is hot, data, I think 171, a breakthrough 170, and you can get out of this. So if you've bought the dip, you know, you're probably buying it against these levels. And when these levels break, you want to get out. I mean, look at UNH, look at some other names. When key levels broke, especially they all have memory. There goes my screen, which I don't have anymore. Okay, now it's back. You know, you got to be careful with some of those plays. So thank you so much for the super chat, and shout out to your wife. You know, bring as many viewers as possible. Maybe she's seeing Sharif on TikTok.
Share with the family.
Yeah, share with everybody.
And speaking of sharing, you guys have shared with us the symbols that you're interested in.
Oh, good.
AMD is probably unsurprisingly leading the way. You know what? I actually thought maybe BMNR would be on there. Bullish isn't even trading yet, and it actually makes the list. Coinbase number 2. So it's AMD, and then we're thinking about crypto, which makes some sense to me. Tesla's starting to rear its head there, but really AMD 5% to the upside today, up $9. And remember, these guys sold off on that China deal. The pay for play 15%, that sold off the other day, and it's filled in the gap. And then kept going,
now the market's coming.
And going and going. So obviously, if I look at a daily chart, you guys can see here 185 is resistance on AMD, and it's having some trouble with that price as we speak. It just pulled back into 84. This could give it a chance if it can hold 183 in the volume-weighted average price. That would at least interest me. Obviously, this is a strong one and not NVIDIA going through. Bullish, for everyone out there, we will 100%. The second that stock is open later today, we'll be all over it. Yeah. But it's very likely to be in the mid. I can look at it now. It's now 9 million shares to buy. It was 800,000 when we sat down. It was 2 million shortly after that. Now it's 9 million shares to buy. This is reminiscent of what Figma looked like. This is what it looked like on CoreWeave and Circle, just ridiculous buy action. ETH bounced the VWAP the first time, but can it do it a second time? I'm not so sure. We might be breaking out that low. If we lose the low, then I'm waiting until at least 34.8 on ETHA, trading the ETF, guys, so the actual price that it is on ETH, I can't tell you what it is versus spot because I just want to work off the chart here. So the first salvo good, the second no, now we're headed downside. Be careful if you're in BMNR, because you're now trending down on Ethereum. And the last time I saw you take a little bit of a bid to the downside, that other thing flushed big time.
All right, just looking for some content for all of you right now. Palantir just made a move down in a little bit here into 187. So we went long into here. I'm just trying to see about a hold into yesterday's close. I mean, the way this market's coming back, we saw yesterday actually, something about the market that was pretty interesting. We almost got to zeros, and this is what I wrote down here on the note today, on the sticky note, is that if we were able to get TQs down, and I'm going to load them up soon, but it's not near there yet. But just right into here for the TQQs. Yesterday we bounced here. Maybe I wrote it in here better. Near break even. Yeah, that'll be yesterday's near closing price. Yesterday we bounced virtually at zeros. So let's see if that can happen again here today. And then yesterday we wound up having a great day in the Nasdaq, up over 1%. So yeah, all right. So here we go. There's a nice little fill for us on the on Palantir. As it gets back up to the upside, we want to try to be as patient as we can with this. We're going to be green on the day right now, which is better than we were yesterday. So here goes here goes Palantir. Let's take another piece out here at 88.89. So there it goes. Yes, sir. That's going to be a good trade. I know it's been a tough one here today, but we'll hold for it, man, and see where this goes now. So Palantir off of a dip buy opportunity, still going a little bit lower today. Obviously, it was opening up around that 189 marker. I still feel like there's 200 there. I put an offer at 195 in the long-term account. I feel like we need to probably do better than that and see if we can get a little bit more out even now. So we'll review that during lunchtime, since I'll be sitting here because the Bullish IPO would not have happened yet. 564, 565 there for BBAI. We're looking at 610. I'm going to cancel that now. Because I'll be sitting here watching. If it does break through, we should be able to get that. But yeah, right now, Big Bear AI off of, again, I'm really surprised yesterday in where we went with Big Bear AI. I was not expecting that move up, but right there did nothing all pre-market for some strange reason, and then all of a sudden opens up, breaks that level, and now going a little bit lower. So yeah, that's Big Bear AI. We'll wait to see what winds up happening with that one. We do have right here, the only trade that I have on is Palantir. We'll wait for it and see what winds up happening. And then the TQs trade as well. 95.60. I'm bidding 95.25, so we didn't get quite down to there. The 200 period holding right now on that one as well. And I think I just heard in my ear something about Robinhood. Wow, Robinhood is getting smoked today, as I guess there is some attention obviously being put and money being allocated.
Competition, right?
Yeah, I think it's just money being allocated over to BLSH. I think people are just waiting for that. They probably put some cash into that, waiting to get that
Coinbase too,
those funding as well. But yeah, Coinbase has been hot fire.
Coinbase just dropped $7.
Yeah, okay, so there you go. So it goes up $20 and down 7 or whatever it was. So all right, let's go find out some more here with Adara.
I didn't see any news on Robinhood. It's likely, much like what's happening with Coinbase here, as people get very excited for the Bullish IPO, priced at $37 currently compared to the expected price of $32 to $33. This could be a huge one. Right now, the Nasdaq actually trying to push a little bit lower. We get a bit of a topping tail candle into that 583 level right now, trading just around 582. S&P 500 we'll take a look at as well. Looking pretty similar to the Nasdaq, though unlike the Nasdaq, we actually get the topping tail candle a little bit later in the day. So SPY getting a little bit of a push up before right now we're trying to decide what we want to do a bit. Tons of earnings on watch, including Cava, Cava Group. They actually did beat here on EPS, but sales were a bit lower than expected, and their same-store sales growth was really disappointing for investors. CoreWeave on watch as well with earnings. They had a sales beat, but a larger than expected loss per share. CRWV on watch there. Enrigetti, another earnings name today. RGTI trying to push a little bit higher here. Their earnings were a bit disappointing, but we know this quantum space is very closely watched. Today, after the close, we'll have Cisco earnings as well. But of course, the thing that's really everyone's really waiting for is for Bullish to open up. Back to you. Make sure to like and subscribe.
Yeah, we're waiting for it to open up. But I guess if you're a holder of Robinhood, maybe you're like, oh goodness, don't do it because you've made a little bit of a top. Who knows? And again, sometimes it's just there's more places for money to go. And if you think about it, if you're, let's just say you're invested in a particular space and you don't want to be over-invested, you want to allocate some shares. When we talk about allocation, we're just talking about if you want to be in bullish, maybe you're going to sell something else. It wasn't Coinbase early. It certainly looks like Robinhood's taking it on the chin. All right, AMD, I want to see this 184 here. We finally bounced off the volume-weighted average price. We missed AMD. It had already broken 179, all that stuff really early. But I'm seeing a battle here at 184. Ooh, wow, big seller. Big seller at 184 on on AMD. So we just talk in and out for a quick little scalp trade. We said we'd get VWAP. That's pretty much when I see this kind of a trend go. If you don't get any of the dips, as we're trying to grab at the moment, obviously Google didn't work out, but you got to get away from these when they don't. Like Alphabet, nothing to do with in my opinion, nothing to do with the Perplexity news, but fails the top and just trending down. So unfortunately, with the market strong off the open, this didn't go. But what happens when the Nasdaq starts going red, well, not red, but starts turning trend down, is if you're failing the break, you've trapped a lot, and it just gets a lot nastier. So you just get out, lose that 30 cents or whatever your stop is going to be, and make sure you don't fight it too much. Advanced Micro Devices got a good note today. I do question, with the market turning red, that's why I'm looking scalp long. You had that fail break of the open, and whenever you lose that kind of momentum, it can be a bit troublesome when you have these early runners. The money starts to think, okay, well, how strong are we going to be? If the market trends down, do you really want to be buying something off of those highs? But let's be real, there's a few things that we haven't talked too much about. One of them was CoreWeave on earnings. It's not like it was all bad, but these guys trade 13, 14 times sales, which is hefty. And on a day where you've seen like NVIDIA not really have that great of a day, NVIDIA's still trying to hold on to the lows, I'd say the bounce is pretty solid. So the fact that it's only down 12% now, that's with a $4 bounce here for CoreWeave. So they're trying to figure out the valuation on this company. It lost that 50 period that we were talking about here. Never gained it didn't get anywhere close to the short level. I was saying short 141, so it's really no close to that. But not a good look for them. Down
Randy's
12
not
points.
here, so
and
I pushed coffee for you, but I don't know. I pushed the cafe barista. Didn't really fill it up.
Hey, that'll work. No, I usually only.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Randy fills it all the way. I only do one at a time because it gets.
Yeah, I know.
It gets too cold too fast.
Yeah, so there.
If you fill the entire cup, it's cold, and before I finish it, then I'm throwing coffee out, and yeah, I don't like to waste stuff.
Oh wow, Palantir went up to 1. Okay, so while we were gone, we got out of some Palantir up there at 188. So we got another price at 83, then we got another 88 there. We're just sitting in this trade, waiting to see it work itself out. CoreWeave, of course, on earnings yesterday. So, nice bounce. And again, it bounced a little bit lower than where I was thinking for CoreWeave. Again, I like the business. I think the bounce is probably short-lived. I mean, you're underneath VWAP now. We didn't quite take it out, so maybe there is now some downside pressures. I mean, if we're going to even draw, just simple kind of trend line, like there's the top there, and we sort of made it. So you're looking for it to continue to the south side here on CoreWeave, not making those levels, like we thought they would. All right, Palantir trying to fade out. I mean, look at this market. We must be getting close to a TQQ trade coming through here. Don't I have a Palantir stop out? Where is that going to be at? Right, let me go over to that right now because we are getting close. I remember I'm sitting at 95.25. All right, Palantir. Oh, it's just 187. So it's a pretty simple trade. That's what we were waiting for. Okay, so we get the fill down there near the lows for Palantir, or sorry, not near the lows, at the lows of Palantir, temporary lows. Anyways, so there it is. There's the bid right there. We grab that right at those levels, as we were just saying, at those lows. Let's see if it wants to sort of graduate back to the upside there. There's a 45 fill, so we'll take that. Average price 32s, so not too bad there on the reload. Let's see if it wants, sorry, we got 42s there, not 45s. Here's the move, trying to get a little bit higher here for PLTR. I'm going to take another piece at 50. Why not? Right now, 53s. There it goes, 63s. All right, let's put an offer at 65. We get that. Okay, let's put an offer at 80s, see if we get that. So nice little move. Yeah, buddy, there it is, man. We're cooking that one up right there for Palantir. So yeah, man, as Ezekiel Elliott, he's not still in, I don't think, the NFL. Is he? He's probably trying to find it somewhere.
Maybe, yeah.
But yeah, there it goes, man. Palantir, nice move higher right now. So let's see if we can get some spikes here in the market and get back to the upside. Remember, we thought the market could turn around Greensville. We're not quite there yet, but that might have been the turn.
The ES is still very strong.
ES is still very strong. Okay, yeah, so that's what I mean. It's these NASDAQ names, right?
It's the NASDAQ, yeah. It's more the NASDAQ that's weak. And a couple people mentioned it in the chat. Look, you're still reversing off the highs on the ES too. Like you made a high, you're pulling back. It's just not as bad as the NASDAQ. The NASDAQ lost the volume weighted average price here for comparison. Suffer with my black chart for a second. The NASDAQ losing the bid a little bit, and the ES still holding up on strength. And one name that's actually doing pretty well is, it was UNH. Very quickly. Oh, there's a trend break. See, that's where you get distracted, showing you guys the ES. There's a trend break happening on ETH. We took the first time it did a trend break, kind of missed this low one, but the all-day trend just broke here. So it will be on the prior bar of ETH. I heard Joe say IBIT, so I don't know.
Well, no, just because, I mean, it's Bitcoin's 122.
Yeah, Bitcoin, that's a better, look at the trend break on Bitcoin. Wow. Yeah, that'll play. 122, hunting for all-time highs as well is Bitcoin. But if you look over, it was like UNH was a name that a lot of people have been paying attention to for catching a bottom. It's, again, looks like just a buy program on UNH. This is not the first time it's happened. No, the second day in a row that there is a buyer on UNH. Is it Uncle Warren? I don't know. Everyone knows that he likes the stock and getting involved into it. Although I guess, is it even him anymore? I know he's still steering the ship.
It is not him.
No.
Yeah.
Well, that's sort of the thing. Well,
from what we've been told, I mean, he's gone.
Yeah, I'm sure he has some say as to what's going on, but at the end of the day, they have a lot of cash to be deployed, and maybe half of the reason why was the new direction.
I thought there was supposed to be an announcement from Berkshire that they did put some of
There was. We're supposed to get something
today. I thought it was.
For sure this week.
Okay, so we'll wait.
Because there's like a mystery stock or something.
Yeah, there's something that apparently that they've been buying up. I don't know, but that would make sense if it was UNH, of course, as we see some of the reactions.
I mean, looking at the last few days.
Right, exactly.
If it was this stock, I don't think anybody's surprised. But we don't know. That's all just speculation. We're just guessing here.
Yeah, we don't know anything. If we did, then I would be buying that stock.
Oh, I'd be in that sucker.
I think. But that's why I'm trying to buy some Berkshire anyways, right? We talked about that. Okay, so just laying my head with Palantir today, that's all. We tried Google there, but Google lost its way pretty early. It was a great trade off the open because it was holding. And all these bottom wicks just kept on holding until eventually they didn't and they broke a lot lower. Okay, we have a decent position on. Oh, shoot, man, this just keeps on stopping upside on Palantir. It won't go through. Like, I just keep getting 40s. Is this reminiscent of yesterday? We're going to stop out here just a little bit below 187. We don't need to put that much damage on the board when a stock is clearly not wanting to go up again. So it just keeps on fighting it. We keep getting outs. So we're surviving, but eventually the trade will turn into a loss if it doesn't break, because we're long at 25s right now. So getting out at 40s, because we've noticed that it's not going anywhere, is not going to give you. That's only 15 cents. So a break lower, we automatically lose 25 cents, right? And then I'm not going to stop out right on the dime. So we're going to get out, probably lose about 50 cents on this trade. So the ratio right now for Palantir long, there it goes, doesn't seem to want to work. Let's see if we get a little bit of a bounce here off of 187, failed break down. But no, normally you'll get that recovery on that break, and it doesn't look like it wants to do it. Like sometimes it'll fake break and then start to rip up. So that doesn't seem to be happening right now. So we'll see if we can get some out. If it does, now it should go. See, so the pressure here is too much. The buyers aren't stepping in here at 187 like I sort of thought they would. As you can see, clearly has no chance of going up now. Or does it? I'm going to get out 186.85. So if that breaks, we'll give this one 15 cents. I think we told you that. 25 cents plus 15, that's 40. There it goes. Give us a little bit of slippage, and we are almost out. But okay, so that's the trade there. I'm not going to keep it on.
They just said Robinhood's still.
That's what I was going to say. Robinhood bleeding right now, 109 and change, down 4.5. So there goes Robinhood. I mean, and there goes Palantir. Palantir finally breaks as well. So we got to slap a fail on that last little move there. I think maybe just the future is trying to go long. Like, I don't want to battle this. Yesterday or whatever, you get back in. I don't believe this, but today we're going to wait for it and then just try to see about these TQs. And again, why don't we just play the momentum? I mean, right now it's short, right? So hopefully not in Ethereum, as the market seems to be doing well in crypto land. But
Bitcoin's doing better. But speaking of Robinhood, we got a super chat about PayPal. It's this is a bit of a change because PayPal's going up. The floppy disk, I remember those. PayPal looking like a possible double bottom after earnings gap down. Break of 70.20 would be nice. Love the show. Shout out to you. If you're in this space, if you're in fintech today and you're not cratering like Robinhood is, then I think you're doing okay. That said, like this is just a bit of guesswork. Like I don't love PayPal. I don't own it. I'm going to get that one out of the way. But this has been languishing while pretty much everything else in fintech has been good. So I don't wonder if it just catches a little bit of relative strength. Here some money comes out of other places. But you're right. 70, is that really 70.20? It doesn't look like it to me. You're right. Yeah, it's 70.20. That looks like a good breakup price. My concern would be the market's going red as you're pushing into resistance. That kind of scares me as a day trade. because then, but at least you're looking at a strong stock, right? Like that's, at the end of the day, you've got yourself a strong stock. As I said, I'm not a huge fan of it, but if the market continues this pullback, as this goes into the high, that doesn't usually seem like the best time to be taking a breakout trade. PayPal, I haven't looked to see what, say like Block is doing here, XYZ. Yeah, that's basically the same chart. I'd almost argue, well, yeah, I mean, it's at a good level for a breakout too, but the same caveat, you're taking a breakout trade as the market's trying to pull back. Don't know if it's going to be the best, but good luck out there. You've definitely got a good one if you're in that long. And oh, there was another super chat. Fat was $3, now 11, 18% short. Why not? I do not know the company. What is this? Fat? It's not fat.
That fat.
Oh, Fat Pharmaceuticals? This thing?
They had some sort of a
was there news
not a
on this?
collab, but yeah, some trials.
Okay, so yeah, I don't necessarily know the story.
Someone
but
messaged me about this one.
oh, this looks legit.
Yeah, I know it's starting to go.
That looks legit. You got it at $3. Oh, right at the 50-period moving average breakout.
Someone must have known something.
Maybe you knew something. When you know something, take advantage of it. Or you could just have played it technically. I don't know. But that looks pretty good going into this $11 area. But resistance, resistance, resistance. Let me know what the story is. A lot of times it's yada, yada, yada pharma when I read those. And so if I don't trade it that day, that a news comes out on a pharmaceutical name, I tend not to look too far or look again. Because at the end of the day, these go for a few days sometimes and you don't have a lot of continuation depending on the catalyst. I know sometimes these can be difference makers. Actually, the last pharmaceutical I bought was Viking Therapeutics just last week. But that's for a very different reason. I want them to get bought out. Still think that there's going to be some consolidation in the space. So let's go up to the desk with Adara.
I looked into Fathom. It's worth noting they actually are on the Russell 2000. They've got a Russell 2000, $752 million market cap. 26.2% of the float is sold short. Couldn't find any catalyst on them, though they did report earnings on Thursday. So it looks like this is like a day 4 or 5 earnings play also for FHAT. I couldn't find any news beyond the earnings, though. Back to you.
Thank you, Adara, as well. Fathom, I read it wrong. It was, I'll say fat because the ticker is PHAT.
Right.
Thank you very much.
I thought that's what it. That's how you pronounce it, right? So.
No, but it's not really fat if it's Fathom.
Oh, Fathom. Oh.
Because it's, yeah. Anyway.
Okay. Yeah, nice name. Sometimes you can catch those lightnings in a little bit of a bottle, and it looks like that's exactly what's happened there. And Eli Lilly's been good. We've been buying the dip. We did buy the dip on Eli Lilly, just kind of like these prices here. You know, 639, and we wound up getting in. That was the day that I was trying to get 650, and then we canceled in the pre-market and wound up buying it later on. But Eli Lilly hopefully on a move back up, as they didn't have the greatest trial data themselves there off their oral. I don't know if they have Wegovy or Ozempic or what the product is exactly, but you know, it's this wonder drug that apparently they've lost billions and billions of dollars in market cap. I mean, this name was $960. You know, now that it's down, like, why are we not talking about this as being destroyed? Like, this has been an absolute dumpster fire as well. I mean, you're up to $940, $960. Now you're down to $640. Like, you've lost 35% on this name, and it's been a pretty orchestrated to the downside right there, and then it comes with earnings, and then we drop through that level, and now we're waiting to see if we can hold. It's been a couple good days there back up to the upside. If you believe in science, I think Eli Lilly will eventually be a winner, but for right now, it doesn't look like it. The other name would be Moderna. I mean, some of these names getting hit. I don't know if RFK has anything to do with Eli Lilly or not, but we do know that the negative talk about some of the vaccines and whatnot have hit this space for sure, this name, and that is Moderna. You know, ever since, I guess when Trump came through, it would have been in October. We'll look at that data back over here. Moderna, I mean, maybe this is the RFK announcement, $48 on, that's January 6th. So I don't know, nice move down there as it continues lower. So the 200 period Moderna right now at a pretty sweet spot if you like the business and you like the space, down here near $25. All right, we've got a decent move here in the futures. Again, the position board is off. As I am long only one name right now, the TQQs. So we got up to 95.50. Okay, let's put an offer up there and then see if we can get some more shares as Andre and Fabian will reset the board. But I'm going to put an offer up there into the 50s, and we're going to go to Adara and see what's up.
I'm going to mention there with regards to the vaccine risks with RFK Jr. Eli Lilly, Regeneron, and Pfizer actually seem to be the best poised to maybe deal with those risks or mitigate them, because we know that those CEOs actually met with Trump prior to his inauguration. Furthermore, they're the only CEOs that Trump addressed by their first name in their tariff letters that came out the end of last month. So there are some companies, Lilly is one of them, as is Pfizer, that are actually better poised to potentially mitigate some of those risks. Just as a reminder, back to you.
Right.
Yeah, well, I think most of the reason why, if I'm guessing, why Lilly doesn't get talked about is if you compare it to Novo did an SMCI over the last year or so, and that's the biggest difference. Like, it's like Novo lost. I'll get to the chart in a quick second. Let me talk about ETH, and then I'll get to the chart, because it's nasty what happened to Novo, certainly. But ETH cannot hold on to that trend break. You're still headed down. What's crazy is, Bitcoin's actually having a good day. First bounce good, second bounce no good. Still hasn't broken that trend. But just to go back to that conversation, I still have CRM up. Man, CRM looks pretty interesting. CRM looks real interesting on the monthly chart there. But if you look at Novo NVO, we'll let it load up. This was $150 effectively, and all the way back into 50. So when you compare the two, vast difference. And I'm sure this will get a bounce as well, but it's almost at the 200 period. And a lot of times this is the risk in farmerland, is you've got to make all the money you can, right? Because you have a short window before, say, something goes generic. And I think Lilly's, here's my 2 cents on Eli Lilly. They came out with their oral, and it was disappointing in terms of the number. It was only about 12% in average weight loss. And they compared that to 15% to the competitors, but their competitors were the injectables. And everyone else is behind Eli Lilly by a couple of years on the oral. Seems like an unfair comparison, but they still got jabbed for it, for lack of a better term, and it's still trying to figure out where the bottom is on that news. So I actually think it's a bit overdone. It doesn't make sense to me that you're comparing apples to oranges and then punishing them for that, but they're doing better than their competitors in the least. I still think you have to wait on Lilly, though, because that's the thing. Like, it doesn't really matter what you think in the analysis-wise. The market's saying since those earnings and since those results were headed lower, and the 50 period on the monthly chart, which is what I'm waiting for, is about $550. That's another $130 down. So I'm looking for a bounce in here on Eli Lilly. But that's what's happening. It doesn't really matter. They looked at that result and said, we don't like it. And they've been selling it off ever since. And when pharma companies sell off, they can sell off fast and hard.
And Jesus Cristo here with AMD. AMD up 7% right now and just ripping. Yeah, like whoopsies.
Remember
we knew about this. Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say we knew about this story off the open, and there it goes, man. We actually took a super chat about 180 there, and I was like, yeah, 180 looks great, and then it broke, and now it's breaking higher and higher and higher. So there goes AMD, and I guess we could put that story to bed.
What's the all-time high?
Which 240 or 220 all-time highs on that one. But right now it's leaving that price comparison a little bit separated here from NVIDIA now and AMD. We said, well, it was going to hit 200 first. It looks pretty easy now that answer there will be everyone's friend, the advanced money destroyer, AMD, which right now is creating a lot of money and a lot of wealth for those traders that did believe in it. But yeah, we believe in this, and there goes the futures right now. Upside play, baby. So we're in this one, obviously, as the TQs are trying to get going there, and part of that was responsible for it is AMD. So again, a nice move higher there for AMD, a nice move higher here for the market, and yeah, pretty happy with this pickup near the lows. And this is what we had wrote down. We did like this play here for AMD. For the TQs as we suffer through some of those downside moves in Palantir and Google, but then again, something that we listed up on our sticky note actually printing out for us right now. So good trading there on the TQQs. Adara, yeah, someone bought hood dip. Okay, that might be good there. I hope you got some dips, some guacamole or something, because right here, Robinhood, yeah, nice move. Yeah, you got the 108s. Great call there. Someone in the chat, shout out to who you were. Let me just get you before we go to Adara. There it is. What's up, Willis Addison there? Nice little move there. Bought the 110 calls. What is those, 0-day expiry? If so, you've probably done pretty well. Up to 111 and change right now. goes. Robinhood and Laser and Oust, we can talk about that. Thanks for those super chats as well. People want to look at that. Laser's going off right now.
Laser?
Yeah.
I haven't looked at that.
I don't know. Yeah, we'll check that stock out for you.
That's Luminar.
Yeah, exactly, in a couple minutes. Right now, we're going to go back over to Adair and see what she's up to.
Compared to the rest of the market here, specifically these major indices, the IWM is actually holding up remarkably well. Now, we are running into a bit of resistance, a bit of a double top here at that 229.25 level. But other than that, nice push to the upside for the IWM. And if you look at this 15-minute chart, we're really just following and extending that beautiful move we had on Tuesday. All of these small caps are actually going to be earnings day one plays. Let's start here with BSLK, Bolt Project Holdings. This is actually on our watch list this morning. Nice improvement on a year-over-year basis for both their losses per share and their sales. They also have a pretty notable float. It's about 1.4 million shares, pretty small. 13% of that float is sold short. So certainly significant here. APSI has a 24% short float. They did actually have a double miss here, but pushing higher nonetheless, despite that pretty nasty miss here on sales. Last but not least, EDIT, missing on EPS, beating on sales here for Editas Medicine. This one, much like the other two we just saw, it's rallied in the past. They've got about a 9.5% short float. Back to you.
Left.
Okay, it's back up now. Okay, good.
It's been on and off,
right.
actually. If you,
I just want to make sure it's on there, as I know a lot of people are asking sometimes, like, what positions we're in and stuff like that. So it's all good. Right now, yeah, shout out to Fabian, Andre, Ramin, everybody behind the scenes, working hard to get this all done. But yeah, so there goes Robinhood. Again, I'll just be careful about those. I won't be careful about those options. I mean, you guys are trading options, you know what you're doing, picking some of these up. But just watch out, you're still underneath VWAP. And you may want to hold it to wait until we get BLSH. Just to see some of those moves that happen over here. Still tapping 37, but we're not getting any idea that we're going to open up anytime soon. I don't really know how to tell.
Anecdotally, it's no chance to open up with a buy and balance this big and the auction price still showing the actual IPO price.
You're going to have to up that just a little bit.
Like until you actually change this, and we saw this with Figma, like, it went from, immediately went to 60-something from 30-something, I think 33, and then it just kept on going higher and higher. And when you start to see updates, we'll give them the alive, but even after that, you're still going to be waiting, and there's just nothing you can do about it. But 11 million to buy, yeah, that's what we're looking for, no questions asked. 11 million to the buy side already, and it's not going to open for a couple hours. This could be another massive, massive IPO in terms of volume at the open.
Yeah, it could be huge. We'll be there for it as well. But if you've seen Trade the Pool, they've created something there for you, and you can scan that QR code right in front of the screen for a free ebook featuring 4 proven, apparently, swing trading strategies from Trade the Pool's top funded traders. Inside, you'll see exactly how they approach the market, how they manage risk, and what setups they rely on so you can learn and grow from what actually works. Download it now by scanning the QR code on the screen or hitting the link in the description below. So yeah, thanks Trade the Pool. Again, we've had Mitch on, Steve Tileman coming through again. So just different ideas, hopefully you're able to find one that works for you. And that's why I was saying about, that these swing trade ideas, there's always going to be examples of what's worked in the past, but you're going to have to make sure that, it fits your risk profile. I just don't want people to have winners and then they're like, okay, we're waiting for the 50-period moving average. But if there's certain moves that happen, try to make sure you do capture a little bit of profit on them so that at least you cover some of your costs and buy yourself that bowl of salad from Cava.
Or maybe ramen because you're a fan of the teenage, what are the whatever K-pop Demon Hunters.
Oh my God, we listened to that on the radio yesterday.
It's catchy.
Up, and something else. Yeah, my kids are going crazy. That's another huge thing that Netflix, they could put that movie in theaters, by the way, and break records. So they're gonna, I think they're gonna do that.
We'd have to watch it multiple times.
Right. I mean, I just think it's going to be one of those things where they could. I don't know what's up with that K-pop Demon Hunter.
My daughter is doing when dinner finishes. She's like, put it on. She's like, hey Google, play whatever one of the songs, and she starts dancing in the kitchen.
Yeah, it's hot.
Every day. You have any idea how much? Where's the merchandising? It's a good thing I don't see any of that nonsense.
Well, the songs are out there. So on Apple Music, we're playing it like crazy. So
no, what I wanted to say was with your point about taking profit on swing trades. This is a good one because I took no profit on UNH, looking for a home run, personally. And I mentioned this. Everyone wants to catch a bottom. Well, UNH made a bottom. Made a bottom in May. Oh, look at that. It was the day after my dad's birthday. Forgot about that. But it made a good bottom, and it was a good buy at that 280 level. And it went up 10%. Did it go further? Nope, did not. And then when it went right back to 10% of the money, again, didn't take any profit. And then got out essentially break even. But that's not break even. Why is it not break even? Because, I mean, I don't know off the top of my head what the market was up between May and here, but whatever, it's like it's a swing amount. But it doesn't really matter what it was up because anything is better than nothing. So if you only look at something like, oh, but I didn't lose money on the trade, so it wasn't a bad trade. Well, I do, because I could have literally had 10% in 2 days and didn't take it. And sometimes, you look back and it's like, oh, hindsight's going to be 20/20, but you should refine your strategy at least using hindsight when it comes to swing trading. BBAI, just going to quickly show you. I mentioned it in the chat. This one's finally back above VWAP.
Oh,
like if you don't break out, it's pretty simple to me. I'm going to want the volume. If you pull back, I want VWAP. Think AMD. If you fail a breakout and I'm looking long, then I don't want it till it reclaims VWAP. It reclaimed VWAP. My stop is underneath volume weighted average price. I don't know if it can get back to $6, but yesterday it was all buy and no break on BBAI. And if it can even do a fraction of that to be able to get back to 680, I would be happy with the result. But going back to a name that was maybe not talked about a lot, that was already, oh no, I got this bad wick. Yesterday, Amazon dumped. Today, Amazon looked like it was going ham with everything else. Right back in. Amazon just cannot seem to sustain any kind of a bid. As we keep talking about all-time highs, it's not lifting all ships the same way. They bounced its earnings, but it's been struggling a little bit here. And that's the thing about the Mag 7, is they're all doing their own thing right now. There's nothing, like we're in a world now where you can't just sit back and buy all the chips together. You can't sit back and you can't buy all of the Mag 7 together. NVIDIA's at the low of the day, down 1%. AMD's up 6% today. Broadcom, for all I know, could be flat. What is Broadcom doing? Let me just check before I say that. No, down. Broadcom's getting smoked. Well, not smoked, but down 0.7%. So, I mean, there you go. We're not living in this super hyper correlated world anymore. It's all about that stock picking, and that's more of the reason I think when you have like successful swing trades or whatever they might be, you might want to take those profits because things are flipping around so quickly. And that can happen because of time of year as well, right? Like it's August, lower volumes. Historically, you want to take your money and run sometimes on those August trades. But yeah, I'm surprised to see Broadcom down this 0.8%. Why?
Yeah, like you said, maybe some rotation right now into some other plays. The Nasdaq is getting to zeros again, so this is what we talked about. The ES also falling, so they're both falling together. We do have crude coming out right now, crude inventory, so we'll get that to you. A build of 3.036 barrels. Gas, waiting to hear that. Okay, we'll get those for you in a minute. But okay, the only trade that we're working on right now is this one. The Nasdaq came right into our level again. So here we go, man. This is close enough. I mean, we'd like to get to zero before we put on a little bit bigger, but for right now, this is what the TQs are doing. Nice little fall back in. We'll wait to see if we can turn green now on the market. Well, we're on the market, but if this trade can turn back up, 95.20 or so would be good. We're long at 95.09 right now. I think we did pretty good trying to buy the dip right here. This is the Nasdaq. This is yesterday's close, so it had to be 94.70 or so, some kind of a break. Well, I mean, yesterday's closing candle exactly is like 94.75. We can almost use that little move down 65. We break back down below 60. I think we can wind up getting out of this one. So we'll give it a little bit of room, but 94.60, sorry, as our route. Let's just put that in right now in case we get some kind of a move down. I don't think there's anything wrong with putting out stop orders ahead of where you want to get out. So that's what we're going to do right now with this. We're going to put it out there. Watch out for the TQs. Hopefully we can get back to the upside. We've got about 1 unit on this one, so we'll let it go. Mom Spaghetti last night. Good report from Rigetti. Well, not a great report from Rigetti. Heads of the downside, but good action today. Nice move up to 17, and now it's falling back down. This is now in danger of breaking its pre-market lows with RGTI. And, we had the note up there from yesterday as all three of these names yesterday, Cava, Rigetti, and CoreWeave, all got hit to the downside. Cava, huge recovery on the day, 66 up to 70, so that's been doing great right there. CoreWeave on possible recovery early, but then, now near the lows. So CoreWeave is the one that's getting punished the most, which makes sense. With the Nasdaq, like I just said, down into the dumps right now. Stocks like NVIDIA, Apple, Google, it's just, we are just again, Apple's actually holding, so I'm wrong on that one. It's Google that I thought was going to go, and that was the one that went to the downside, so we actually are fine trading that. The one we wound up losing the most on was going to be Palantir, only because we put the most shares on this one. At 187, and we got out once it broke, so we were pretty happy with that, but that goes all the way to 185.50. Wow, some great dip buy opportunities in this market, that's for sure. You just got to find them.
You know what's moving and could go green? I guess all you got to do is meet with the prez.
Yeah, it was the best trade yesterday, but
yeah, you meet with the president, and I'm talking about Intel, right? Lip Boo meets with the president, goes ham yesterday in reaction, and is also trending up. And this is sort of thing. Maybe look for a little bit of relative strength. That's where you might find it. We keep getting asked, and I don't mind showing it, but trust me, this is not moving anywhere. 12 million to buy, 37 price on Bullish. Nothing has really changed. It's more or less the same thing that I see here on this bad boy. What is crazy is Newegg. Whoops, that's Blue Ocean, which, by the way, hey, Blue Ocean.
Yeah, check them out.
The opportunity to be able to trade right now, you can trade overnight. But next year, sometime next year, I forget exactly when, we're going to 24/5 anyways. So you can get your practice in with Blue Ocean. But Newegg, super strong day, up 27%. I didn't see any stories at all on this one. I don't think Adara was able to find anything, but strong move here for Newegg. We'll dig deeper and see if we can't figure out what's going on with this runner. You want to find that relative strength. Looks like you found it in Newegg. Let's go to Adara.
I mean, Newegg ran on Friday. It could just be continuation. I'll mention the builds here. I have BOIL up here, the chart for BOIL. Yeah, crude oil inventories, as Sean mentioned, actually a build, so 3.036 million compared to a forecast here of negative 0.912 million. Then we've got the gasoline inventories, negative 0.792 million. Distillate inventories, 0.714 million. That's the oil and gas inventories here, guys. Back to you.
Bullish still looking at 37 with no indicated open or anything like that. So thanks, Adara, for that little look there on oil. But there it is right there. Bullish, 12.2 million shares still to buy. So we'll wait for that one. We can go over CL, which is the crude contract. I think we want to look at, is it September now is the one that's moving around a little bit? All right, well, 62 and change here. So not much reaction right now to crude. Is it the September contract? Hold on a second. Let me just see what the other one is. This is 116,000 so far on this one. The August contract is, so it is September, of course. So, all right, so CL forward U, I believe was September. So not much happening with crude right now. We'll wait to see if it does hold. And this is right back to some of those levels again that we had talked about, $62, $63 that have held in the past. We'll see if it can hold one more time here today. It's trying to. That, of course, is crude oil on that number. So thanks, Adara, for the inventory look there on that. And then, Randy's not here today, so I hope Randy's enjoying his time off. XOM, not much going on there. Like I said, don't chase yield on this name. I would not. I don't love the energy space at all. I haven't been buying any more XLE or anything. I actually don't even know what XLE is doing. Like, it's such a small, I am so overweighted on tech names. It's really stupid, but XLE, all right. So still kind of the same as oil there, right? I mean, they should move close to the same, but 84 and change. This is XLE Oil Services ETF that I've been buying, and it's at a good level. I haven't bought this. I'm going to say probably maybe in a year, but up and down. I used to just try to get a little diversified, but now I don't really. I talked about my diversification is just buying the indexes, but then, like I said the other day, it's like 38 cents or so like that of every dollar you put into the SPY is tech anyways.
That's most of the reason why I have some energy stuff, because I've been buying the indexes for a while. It's like you just get more and more tech and more tech. And it's like I need some things to balance it out. I don't know a lot of Enbridge, I suppose, would be the biggest one by far for me, but that's a Canadian thing.
Yeah.
But you know what? If you're looking for opportunities, maybe you want to see what's the best ETF moving in a particular space. What's the hottest stock right now? CoreWeave is one of the top. Tesla, NVIDIA leading one of my scanners for a hot list. economics. You can find these things over at eSignal, where you, for 1 month free, you have the ability to reliably chart the markets, test your strategies, trade through 50. Yesterday I said 50 plus brokers you can trade directly through. A very intuitive platform, easy to use with great support. You have level 2 if you want to be able to trade and look at the book. You have the imbalance locator if you want to look at that tool. You have the API access so you can automate your trades through there. It's a fantastic platform, first month free. If you're looking to step up your game, I was just sort of reading what was at the top here. Ooh, SOXL just popped to the top of the list.
There you go.
There, so big moves there in SOXL, and this is what eSignal is about. So scan the QR code in front of you. If you're interested, 1 month free over at eSignal. Let's go to Adair. We've got some news.
Yeah, we have comments coming from the chief economist the U.S. chief economist there at Goldman Sachs, saying that apparently they will continue to publish their research reports. This comes after Donald Trump basically had some issues with The Economist and then also went after CEO David Solomon. So yeah, Goldman Sachs apparently standing firm. They said they're going to continue publishing research reports regardless. Goldman Sachs is basically at low of days here, guys, but I thought I wanted to let you guys know about that tidbit. Roughly 24 hours after Trump initially made this Truth Social post. Back to you.
Yeah, GS, they're going to do them. It's only so much. Like telling them, don't publish your reports.
Right.
Your analysts are wrong about this and that. That's just par for the course, man. Like it's interesting because I had economics professors and then a mentor, one of my dad's friend who studied economics. He tells me, he goes, look, the reality is things are so incredibly complex. It's like anything else, everything is best guess. It's not an actual science. So you can understand how things can work and it can help you to make decisions, but prediction in something as complicated as the world economy it's ridiculously hard to do. I mean, come on, what are we even talking about? And that pullback on Goldman Sachs is gonna be all right. Pulling back into prior highs at best. So it might be down 0.3%, but that's a heck of a move for the last, what are we calling this, April to August, A to A, $200, $300. So that's about 65% or something, whatever that works out to. Absolute beast here. So just gonna jump over. The only thing I'm still in is BBAI. I'd say disappointing day 2 play because BBAI, which I keep on putting Nasdaq on, is a New York stock. It's barely moving off the volume weighted average price. Since it got there, it's moved 5 pennies a couple times. No big push into $6 just yet, so a bit of a disappointment there for BBAI. Yesterday, by this time, it was well within an upward trend after, look, it wasn't a good quarter. They missed on multiple time frames. Let me put a 3-minute back up so you can see. It wasn't a very good quarter at all. And when you have a sky-high valuation, you can get beat up for it. But it was a big time relief rally, maybe some shorts covering. You get some momentum because it was SSR. A lot of those things can maybe not be there the second day, right? Like you just be the short sells covering on the first day and they're like, yeah, we're good. Now we'll look for a place to jump back in maybe on BBAI. So flat for now. Let's see if it can hold that VWAP. The market's struggling to do so. So we'll see how much strength can come into a name like this. I do believe we're going to go to Adair in a quick little second, but I did want to jump back over to, we said Intel's strong. Intel just broke the high of the day. So this chip name, and that's AMD just pulled back $2, $2.50, and Intel's still going higher. I suppose it's a long once again. Once you're in the good books or no longer in the crosshairs of the president, apparently you just buy the stock and hold it for a bit. That's how it works. Let's go to Adair.
As Neil and Sean were talking about earlier, tech does make up a lot of this market, and that's why you can see that even though a lot of these other sectors are green, the market is still pushing a little bit lower today, though, of course, it's still up on the day. I want to talk about this tech sector first because, sure, we have strength in Apple and AMD, the latter of which is up 5%, but we also have Broadcom, NVIDIA, GE, Arista Networks, Dell, all sharply to the downside. Technology services, in contrast, is a bit more muted. Google, Microsoft and Meta relatively flat, but Netflix and Palantir are dragging a little bit lower. Finance pretty much green across the board. Retail trade, with the exception of Walmart and Costco, pretty strong here. Health technologies really strong. Consumer durables strong. Consumer services pretty strong. Consumer non-durables a bit mixed, but PG and Pepsi and Nike all trying to buoy it higher. Health services looking good. Commercial services looking good, right? So even though tech is struggling a little bit here, we still have enough names that theoretically this market could be a bit higher, but as we know, tech really does control the market. You can kind of see that in the way the indices have moved today, guys.
Oh, no question.
Yeah, I wanted to, thanks, Adair. I wanted to also look at some banks today. Yeah, so JP Morgan started off the day pretty good. You know, we've seen Robinhood, we've seen SoFi, we've seen some of those. Oh, and by the way, Citigroup was the one that was near all-time highs. We had a lot of talk about Citigroup. Yeah, so again, nice move once this daily chart loads. Nice move recently, but right back up to some key levels. And that key level, again, the market's going lower right now. So we're going to take our last little shot here, I guess, is probably the best way of putting it, there, by the way, SoFi 24, that's where we last stopped out at. And you can see that if you go back into a daily chart on SoFi. What I was going to say is we're taking a shot on the futures. Comes in. I'm bidding 80s with a bigger position. Yeah, there's SoFi on the daily. If you go over to say to a weekly, I'm probably be able to see this pretty good there as well. But here it comes right into there, $24, $25 one more time for SoFi. So comes right up into these spaces, and now just getting hit just a little bit today. It's not a dramatic move or anything. You're just flat, but it did make that move up to 24. So that could have been something that was looked at for a short. But yeah, I mean, the VIX here as well today starting to go a little bit in the right direction if you've bought some protection. Again, you know, with earnings season, like I said, 451, maybe a little bit more than that, now reported. We have Walmart, we have Target. I think that they're going to avoid, you know, too much negative tariff talk and things like that there. I think that's already been baked into some of their numbers. And then we have Nvidia coming in 2 weeks today. But right now, the VIX at some of these lows definitely able to buy some protection down there if you do think this market's going to go for a little bit of a dump. I don't think it's going to. It's just when you're at all-time highs, like we opened up today on all-time highs, and you could see what happens right now. Nice little fade right there down. So yeah, we'll try to catch that bottom. We're going to wait here for the TQs and then get going on that one. So that's a sort of what I'm looking at. CoreWeave hasn't really recovered yet today.
First update.
Cava did, and we got an update now.
It's a first update on Bullish.
$55.
And it's $55. So from 37 IPO issue price, it's now an auction price of $55 indicated. So I want to say let the party start, but it's 10:44. Historically, my guess is we're still a ways away. There's still a 2.5 million share buy imbalance, which I'm pretty sure I have never seen an IPO open with that big of an imbalance. They usually will wait until it's paired off some, and so they can get it. A lot of times, what you'll see is when you come to that locator, it'll go from like millions to the buy, and then it'll be more paired off, maybe even flip to a sell for a bit, and go back and forth for a while, and then settle down. And oftentimes, we'll see the indicated open reach a high, and even that pulls back a couple times, and then you can open up. So, Bullish, $55 indicated open. I still suspect we're waiting until after you eat your lunch. Well, we'll eat our lunch anyways. I'll be eating mine. I think this time I'm just going to eat my lunch right away. That's the way to go. But let's be real. Some of what was going on today in the space was a dump out in some competitors. Robinhood down 3%. Now, admittedly, Robinhood, context matters. Robinhood just made an all-time high 2 days ago and has been making all-time highs pretty frequently, realistically. So it's probably a healthy pullback here, but there's alternatives. Coinbase, I think, fared pretty well. Much more of a direct competitor here. Fared pretty well. But I think the difference with Coinbase, why I think it's up 2.7, is I would imagine if Coinbase had been up at 420, it hadn't already dropped $100 from their high, then Coinbase would probably be treated a little bit worse than it is. But this already failed off their earnings, which was a disappointment. You have to remember, Coinbase disappointed on multiple metrics. Like they missed across the board when they recently reported, and they're only now trying to get back to the 50 period and failing it. So maybe not the best timing for them. If Bullish were to flush a little bit, I'm still going to be bullish on it at that open. But if they were to flush, I'd watch out for Coinbase and a little bit of a sympathy play to the downside. More directly related than Robinhood, obviously. But I think you mentioned SoFi. I think everything in fintech would be at risk if Bullish were to flush today.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's maybe sort of what's happening right now. But the tap down to 55 or up to 55 from 37. Yeah. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah, I appreciate that. Riri Jordan in there. Yeah, we try to go to the gym a little bit. But I think I've been going now for maybe like 8 months or something, I'm down like 10 pounds. So it's not like it's a huge amount or anything, but it's still pretty good. It's better than nothing, I guess. You know, I should just be taking that little injection and I probably lose 10 pounds in a month. But right here, yeah, it's good.
Sorry, I had to find it.
No, that's good. So right here.
That's huge, though. What are you talking about?
10 is not that. Yeah, it's okay. All right, so yeah, no, I'm happy. Thanks, Neil, for that.
It's hard with hard work, though. It's only.
Plus,
people take an injection so they can do it
after you turn 30, like me and you just did, things become harder.
Well, that's true. A lot of things become harder.
Shut up, Joe.
I'm
all right. Yeah. So I was just.
It's true.
I was just. I don't know why. Joe didn't say anything.
Healing from small things. When you roll an ankle.
Oh man, it's too much. Too. But he didn't say anything. That's the funny part about it.
No, but he's chuckling over there. Like,
yeah, because I'm just saying, like Joe, the youngest here out of the four of us was Sharif, of course. Adara, like I said, Adara is young enough to be 3 of our kids.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
Right there. I have a kid older than Adara, I think. I'm not sure how old Adara is.
I think I've done the math on this. I am slightly older than that kid.
23. He's born in April. Yeah, okay. So I have a kid that could date Adara. Right? You know, similar age there as well. So that's why, you know, it's a very, very odd way of putting it. Yes, as well. But yeah. No. My son goes through. My son runs the gauntlet. So yeah, I don't. No, I'm serious. I don't recommend that. Well, his lifestyle is what it is.
Did I say
he's at university, so
he's in school. He's a player.
He's doing his best. You know, to figure it out. So all right.
Young men in their 20s too.
Yeah. Oh no, I mean, that's a great move, man. Great move, my guy, over there. So yeah, living vicariously. All right.
Get
so
it, Baxter.
yeah. Okay. We just just quickly, because it's the only trade I'm in, and we might as well just do this right now. We have 1048. I just bought that dip in the Qs. This is what we wanted. We said we were going to go long if it breaks O's. So that's what we're doing right now. It's at O's. We're long. We got a decent price right here. This is the price we're long at. So let's see if it wants to hold out, and then we'll get up to the upside on that one, and we will go from there. But here we go, TQ's nice trade. Let's figure it out.
We got multiple super chats. Boba plays.
Blah, blah, blah.
ELV is pumping. We got Megdan. Thoughts on Webull. Ross about. Neil, can you give me a small class on how to place orders for an IPO as market of limit order at different? Oh, you want to do limit orders at different amounts? Okay, that's really easy. But let's do ELV absolutely pumping. And then thoughts on Webull. Look, everything we just said about SoFi and competition and Coinbase in the play, just anchor that with Webull. It's more or less the same story. They're selling off a little bit because maybe they're seeing the IPO as a top. Maybe it's money allocated to go into Bullish. It's coming out of other things that are adjacent to the space or directly involved, like Coinbase. Is competition. I think that's what's happening. Shout out to ELV for pumping Boba plays. And Rossabout, we'll certainly talk about that, but we got to go to the desk with Adara, come back, and we can talk about limit orders.
Finally.
We are going to talk about this increasingly large list of potential Fed chair picks, but first we're going to look at the US dollar. This uptrend that I mentioned we were kind of in looks like it's becoming more and more of a nice dream or a nice passing moment. We've decisively made a lower high here from our most recent, relative high on August 1st of that 100.3 level. Since then, we've really not even been above the 100 level. We didn't even close above 100 the day that we last touched it. Then we have this little pop here on Monday, just above 99. Today, we are on our second straight red day, and we're back below recent support of 97. What is this? 97.90s. So again, not a great look here for the DXY. Now let's talk about the Fed chair. I'm currently working on an infographic for this. It's worth noting a lot of these individuals that have been named in the CNBC report, it's really hard to find info on them. There's just not a lot to see. But I will read through the names here. David Zervos is one of them. He is the chief market strategist for Jefferies. He also briefly served as an advisor to the Federal Reserve in the year 2009. There's also Larry Lindsey, who was a Fed governor, and he actually correctly called out the tech bubble. He is also, though, about 70 years old, so he's a bit older. We have Rick Reeder as well, chief investment officer for global fixed income within BlackRock. Then we have, vice chair for supervision, Michelle Bowman is now being named as well, even though she was just nominated as vice chair by Donald Trump, the U.S. president. Fed Vice Chair Philip Jefferson is also still in the running here. He was mentioned a bit last week. Mark Summerlin is in the running. Dallas Fed President Lori Logan is now apparently in the running. And then James Bullard, former St. Louis Fed president, is apparently now also in talks. So tons of people now. We're going from that four-man list that featured the two Kevins, which Trump seemed to favor for a while. We're continuously expanding this. We also had Scott Bessent saying that they're doing the interview process, and now they're leaning away from the Fed, the shadow chair model. Now, the shadow chair model was likely going to cause a lot of ruckus at the Fed, as far as people were saying. So maybe a good thing they're moving away from the shadow Fed chair, but because they're moving away from that, it seems like this pool of potential Fed chairs is only going to expand further. Back to you.
Thank you for the update there. And a lot is going to change in the next little bit at the Fed. Of course, like Mirren's going to be temporary, so it won't just be the Fed chair. You also have an open appointment that you have to fill for the temporary move that they just made. But just to quickly answer the question on, I think it was using multiple limit orders. Like, I'll give you in theory. Like, let's imagine a scenario where you want to get 300. Like, if Bullish opens here, you like it at 55, and you want to have, say, 300 shares. But if it opens at 70, you only want, say, 200. And if it opens at 90 or 100, you only want 100 shares. Like, all you would have to do, just put 3 separate limit orders in. You could have one that's at like $100 for 100 shares. You could have one that's at 70, and you can have one that's at like 56, above this 55 indicated open. If it opens at 55, you'll get all 3 will fill. And that's why you use limit on open orders. It's the price you're willing to pay and prices you're not willing to pay. You know, if it opens up above, let's say, like, I don't know, like that 70, then great, your 55 is not going to fill, but your 70 is going to, and you'll get 200 shares. And if it opens at 100, you'll get 100 shares because the 70 and the 55 will not fill. That's why you would use limit orders as opposed to market orders. And a lot of brokers won't allow you to use market orders on an IPO because you don't know exactly the price it could open at. And so therefore there's buying power issues for a lot of accounts because you don't have infinite buying power and you don't necessarily know where that market order could fill. So hopefully I hope that answers your question there. And if it was something more than that, then just let us know in the chat. We appreciate the super chat so much. Just the only thing I'm in, like I said, is BBAI. Someone said, can it retrace? What do you think about the retracement off the lows? Well, I mean, I wasn't looking at it at the lows. That wasn't a key price. I'm just looking at it at VWAP. It got 58 or 580 to 590. Still looking for it to get back to the $6 level. Not the kind of juice that it had yesterday. The volume's way down. The day after earnings, I believe we did 250 million shares, if memory serves, somewhere around that range, like 250, maybe more. Million in shares. It's done 35 this morning. So the relative volume is way down. Got to start thinking it's not going to move the same way that it was before.
All right, let's go find out who's making money and where. Yesterday, this is here at Real Trading. This isn't Vicente J or anything like that. This is right here. These are USDs made yesterday in one day here at Real Trading, the best prop firm around. All right, so we had Canada. You go find it, realtrading.com. That's the platform that Neil, myself, everybody uses here, realtrading.com. The best prop firm available. All right, 15,942 made yesterday on Chicago, TSX, and the Nasdaq. So these are just different exchanges that they were made on, and these are the totals in US dollars. Oh boy. All right, so 12.75 there in Canada. Amex Canada, New York, Nasdaq 10. More Canada. There, and then the numbers get a little sloppy down here. We get 3,600 from Amex, Nasdaq in New York, and so on and so forth. So yeah, we would have made this list a couple times in the last week or 2 weeks or so, but right now, not huge coming through. These are some individual. There's the Canada TSX there as well. But yeah, so far so good. All right, the Nasdaq. This would be the TQs. So this is the last thing that I'm doing right now. This is really the only trade. The Google trade broke out through 204. We have NVIDIA that didn't really make the move there either. So here's NVIDIA right there, 184 long. We didn't get through there. The Google 204 long did break. We are long now. We're long underneath 95, but that's where we want to start the trade, and that's pretty much, we started it even earlier, that 95.25. It pulls back down. We're long 94.80. Big Bear AI did not break. So right now, the only trade that we're supposed to have been in were these two. And then we did trade also Palantir a little bit to the downside. Let's just go figure out. We'll be here all afternoon this time as we wait for what's for lunch. We are expecting Nimit is coming in. We're going to be going out for dinner with Nimit tomorrow. That should be a lot of fun. So we shout out to him if and when he ever gets back to the email. Okay, Wednesday, August the 13th. My kids, well, one of my kids is at golf camp. One is at Wonderland today. Okay, nice. Chipotle glazed chicken. I mean, I think, you know,
that'll play.
Yeah, I mean, a little chicken for lunch, you know, maybe get some, put in a bun, I don't know. Roast with roasted sweet potatoes, good, like that. With the word roasted again, carrots and red peppers with a side salad. So yeah, I'll be sitting here. Cool. Will not be going to the gym because we wait for BLSH today. The last time was when we had Kevin O'Leary on, and that was Figma Day. And he said that I'm going to hell if I did not go to the gym, but we went the very next day, and we made a hell of a trade on Figma, so he was definitely right about that one. We did go to hell, but in a different way that day. This is what it looks like here for Bullish, right there, $55 right now, the tap. So that's the theoretical auction price. So if it were to open right now, that price should be around $55 or exactly $55. So we'll wait to see where that comes through. But here it is, man. It's going to be, you know, for me, my biggest trade right now is on the TQQ. So we'll get another piece out right here. Every time it bumps up, we're starting to get out. Let's hold the rest. We still have about 60%. We'll see if we can get going here. And maybe the market recovers off of O's like we did yesterday to wind up 1%. So yeah, only 2 minutes to go. So far, so good. And we're going to figure it out. So.
Apple just did it a really big.
Apple's been a beast, eh?
But that's a heavy candle off the highs here on Apple. About a $1 candle on the 3-minute here. Apple has been a beast, riding the volume weighted average price, I mean, riding the trend to the upside. So we've seen this before where Apple will lag and then other things reverse and then it starts leading, or it'll lead and something else, like maybe the chip space will take the lead after that. But yeah, a bit of a pullback here. Watch out for VWAP here on Apple. Obviously, bullish is going to be a big deal. I don't want people to forget about, like, don't forget about all the connections to be made here, right? This is a crypto play. So if you're not even trading bullish, but let's just say maybe you have a position in Coinbase, maybe you have a position in Robinhood, maybe you have a position in Fintech, maybe you got a position in Bitcoin or BMNR or any of these adjacent names. Remember, there is some sympathy to be played here. If that goes southbound or goes blasting to the upside, you could see some big moves in either direct competitors or some names that are adjacent. Coinbase is probably the most direct here. And that's given up the entirety of the move. This actually is pretty interesting. This is a full circle. Some people call it a Christmas tree setup. You know, I don't know. I don't have a better name for it, so I don't really.
Wow, up and down, yeah.
Right back to where it was. Like, it's
reverse
crazy.
V shape.
It's a reverse V or an A, but there's not really an A because there's no.
All right, well, no, let's not go to Adara yet. Let's just say thank you to everybody because it's 12 o'clock, it's 11 o'clock. So we'll go to Adara. Thanks, Neil. Good show, obviously, as per usual. Get ready for the midday show. Yeah, we can turn those both into bulls. Great idea.
It's bullish.
Yeah, exactly. That's why we should do it. All right, thank you so much to everybody for watching. We've got these two positions on. We'll hold them. We'll talk about them in the chat as we go. Let's go over to Adara, then we'll go to the midday show. And good luck on everybody trading the IPO.
Yeah, I just want to let you guys know here, Donald Trump is set to take the podium. It said 11:15 in the schedule. The stream is already live, but he's going to be at the Kennedy Center announcing some honorees. Again, this is very likely not maybe going to be a market-moving event, but he can always be asked questions, and we never know what can or will be said. Just keep an eye here on